Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem. We have my family that's going to be here with us in just a few minutes. But this is what we call Way Out Wednesday. This is what we call Way Out Wednesday. This is the day where we open up the phone lines and whatever you want to talk about, we will talk about it with you and we'll talk about it in its entirety. So give us a call at 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to hear from each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. We love to hear from you. We got our Badger with us this morning. Good morning, Badger. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Another blessed day.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. And this is Way Out Wednesday, man. And we're gonna talk about whatever's on your heart and everybody else's heart that want to talk to us on this particular day. So, Badger, let's kick this thing off. What's on your heart, brother?
Are you sure you ready for that? Man, I was sitting here thinking all the things I've been seeing lately in the conversations we've been having.
Mm-hmm.
And it's trying to figure out how to inform or put out there what trauma is
Mm-hmm.
and how it affects people. I think that is something that is so untaught in our society, and so many people have a version of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you have so many people that you literally have to unteach them toxic teachings that were shoved down their throat from like childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then you got the abuse, and then you got all the gangs, and having a fight to get health insurance. Like there are some that are lucky and everything just, you know, they have to fight for it or not fight as hard as others. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they're just better educated or something. But in this, in our country, anyone that's below middle class, it's an everyday fight. It's a nonstop fight.
Wow. Wow. So am I hearing you saying we're not gonna bring color into this thing, black races, race or nothing like that? We're not gonna bring that into the equation. But what I will like to ask you is this: do you think certain individuals, be it economic value or whatever, have more privilege than other people?
Oh God, yes. If you have money, you have privilege.
Wow.
I've seen that over and over and over.
Hmm. Why is it that some would say, well, the rich go to jail too?
They only go to jail when they don't want to pay for something.
Captain Leonard, good morning. I know you're surprised, brother. I know you're surprised.
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are talking about whatever. This is Way Out Wednesday, so ain't no telling where we're gonna end up today. And I want to warn everybody: don't come here looking for a particular topic, or we don't have a particular topic on Wednesdays. We talk about what we talk about. We let our hair down. Each and every one of us let our hair down. Yes, me too. I let my hair down, and we talk about whatever we talk about. But we're talking right now. Badger brought to the equation about privilege. Do you and again, we're not gonna bring a race into the conversation, but do you think people with certain economic prowess, if you will, have privilege?
Well, it depends on how you define in privilege.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, privilege can be different things to different people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, does money provide benefits? Yes, because it costs money to get out of trouble. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
have money, you pay in time.
What about the justice system, though? The justice system says if you commit this particular crime, then you have to go and you have to serve your time and pay your debt to society. Does that mean does the debt to society mean you pay X amount of money and you don't have to worry about it?
It includes that.
Wow.
It includes that. There's always administrative costs when it comes to fines and things like that when you have been convicted. Even with defending yourself, you have to spend money to defend yourself. And one of the best defenses is bought with your own money.
Is one of the best defenses also being innocent?
Well, that is the best defense, is to be innocent. But we're not talking about being innocent, are we?
Well, I to a certain degree I am, because and the reason why I say that I am is because if a person is innocent, whether they have money or not, they still should not, to me, in a perfect world. Now notice I said in a perfect world, and we certainly don't live in that. But if a person is innocent, that should be enough. Whether they got $5 in the bank or $5 million in the bank, they still should not be having to serve time, if you will. Go ahead.
Not if they're innocent, no.
Yeah, but that's not
But
always.
most people are not.
Wow.
See, a lot of people are operating under the impression that the majority of people that wind up in certain situations are innocent, and that's just as ignorant as believing that everyone is guilty.
Well, what I'm talking about is the ones that actually are innocent. You know, we got different
Like,
people who feel
yes,
different
well,
ways.
yes,
Yeah, I'm
but
talking about the ones that are
those
actually
stories,
innocent.
yes,
Yeah.
of innocence. We fight injustice. That's what injustice is about. But whether you or not you have ability to fund your defense and to do all these other things is a different conversation.
And see, and that's what I guess I don't live in.
If
this.
you got enough money to bribe judges and all that type of stuff, that's what
See,
money is for.
Yeah, I can't jump on that horse, and the reason why I can't jump on that horse is because they said the scales of justice, and they always talk about that. You know, if you're innocent, you will get off. If you did, and I know a lot of people that has actually served time for crimes they did not commit.
Right, and they are
because they did
innocent
not
people.
have innocent people, and it's because they didn't have that economic that money, that dollar bill to go in there and represent and get the right representation. But my thing is, innocence should be the best representation, regardless of your lawyer. In a perfect world, that's the way I see it. And I want to hear from every one of y'all that's out there, man. Let's talk about this today. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, you know, I'm glad to see another beautiful day, man. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. I'm gonna check out that video this morning. I didn't get a chance to look at it last night, but I definitely look at it this morning. Then I hit you back on that. We talking about the justice system, and do you think, before I even assume that you feel a certain way, I want to ask you the question: do you think that an individual that has economics, has money, has resources, have a better chance of getting off than a person that does not, rather they're innocent and or guilty?
Yes.
Now, in this perfect in this perfect world that we live in, in this perfect world that we live in, is that the way this thing is supposed to be set up, man? If I got a couple of $1 million in the bank, I commit a crime, and say if Jimmy don't have money, have a hard time rubbing two nickels together, and he does not commit a crime, I commit a crime, and he does not commit a crime, I can get off because I got the money. But Jimmy, being innocent, could be locked up. Rico.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I mean, you asking me, should they do it? No, they shouldn't. No, you shouldn't be able to. That's bias.
Yeah.
You know, that's not justice. That's favor. That's privilege. That's okay. Since you got money, you can get away with it. Since you got money and you can afford an attorney, the best attorneys, y'all can come on in here and finagle the law and the justice books and use all this different language to baffle people and wiggle this man up out of here. Because he's worth a lot of money, like R. Kelly was the first time. Man, that was a travesty.
Yeah.
Like Jeffrey Epstein was the first time. A lot of people don't know that man was getting out of prison and going home some days. Never stayed in his cell no more than 8 hours. The days that he didn't leave the prison, he was actually sitting in a room made to fit his comforts with his attorneys, and they hid it as having attorney meetings. And at times, he often still flew to New York and screwed little girls. Kept doing what he do while he was incarcerated.
Wow.
Man, what kind of privilege is that? And right now, you actually believe he dead. man, you might not even realize just how deep this thing can go. Because some people think he committed suicide, and some say he was murdered. But what if the real trick in the hat, the real rabbit in the hat, is that he ain't even dead? You know, they can reconstruct people. See, he got money, and the way that he got his money was even funny and sinister, very suspicious. But it worked, and that ain't fair. Prince Andrew, ain't nobody talking about Prince Andrew no more. It ain't fair. Privilege and entitlement. So now, just because you got money, it don't mean that you got the right or the privilege to go out here and be unlawful. And criminal.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
What's going on, man?
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
No, I was sitting here thinking about the people in power that have gotten away with some very heinous crimes. Politicians, Trump, all that kind of stuff. And I think even if he's found guilty, he'll probably just pay his way out like the other ones do.
Wow.
So,
wow.
I mean, it's welcome to America, where corporations run everything.
Leonard?
Leonard what?
Leonard, that's the time we're supposed to talk, brother.
I mean, about what?
Same topic. We ain't switch that same thing, man. I don't want to ask the question, is it fair? Because we all know the answer to that question. Is it fair? It certainly is not. But what happened to this justice system that everybody harps so strongly on and said that justice system, if you're innocent, you'll get off. If you didn't do it, don't worry about it. Have your day in court. Let your case be heard. But you don't have an attorney. You don't have the money to go out there and get a quote unquote good attorney if there's any such thing. And you end up with maybe a public defender, which has about 50 other cases that don't have that cannot give your case the time that it needs just to prove that you're innocent. And you end up in a situation where you're facing X amount of time in prison for a crime that you did not even commit. Is there something wrong with our justice system?
Well, there's definitely something wrong with the justice system. And first of all, it's man's justice system. So man can do with that justice system as he please. So because men are corrupt and things of that nature, that's where that comes from, because men are corrupt. It's not necessarily the system. It's the man that's corrupt.
I can go with that.
So, I look at people all the time that, one, if you talking about it from the standpoint of the reason why I didn't get away is because I ain't got no money, that's a different conversation. Most people ain't talking about being innocent. They're talking about getting away with the wrong that they have done. Now, if you truly innocent, ain't got nothing to do with it, that's injustice. But you know how when you sit around long enough and you look at it, go sit in the court any day of the week, there are guilty people there.
There are.
Right now, you got some people like I know people that do horrible things. They right back on the street the next day. Right back on the street the next day. They definitely not rich. They're definitely not rich at all.
Are they snitches?
And they go in and out of jail all the time.
Are they snitches or informants?
I have no idea. I wouldn't say if I didn't know. I don't make the story up. So I fight for those people who are innocent.
Because I know there was a fella back home on the streets of Greensboro that he used to do the same thing, in and out all the time. And he was a drug dealer. He was a drug on out there slinging a lot of drugs. And people start looking at
people on the block doing that. You got plenty of people on the block go in and out of jail, and they ain't got no money.
And I was like, hey man, hold on, man, because I said, okay, man, how can't keep you getting out, man? What is he? Hold on, bro. This dude, man, they just hadn't been over the car, putting the cuffs on him a couple of hours ago, and now how did he back out already?
A lot of people sitting in jail that have done things that just want you to give them a bond because they got the money to get out. You know, those types of things. So I don't do the whole blanketing generalization of things that way. We have a problem in our justice system, but the biggest problem is it sends innocent people to jail.
Yeah, and that's the basis of my conversation.
That's the problem.
Right now.
Not people that just think that they shouldn't have to go to jail because white or rich people commit crime. There's a difference in that logic. I'm doing all my dirt, but I shouldn't go to jail because you letting rich people go.
And see, the part of my conversation based on this right here is the fact that rich people are getting off because of the fact that they have the money to go out there and they say it's going to cost you $10,000. Okay, they write a check. There you go, $10,000. They're back on the street. It's done.
Right.
It's all right. And so my thing is that does not negate the fact that you committed the crime.
Exactly.
And yeah, it don't negate that fact at all. So my thing is, if you commit the crime in this country that everybody talks, say the justice system is the scale, and we're gonna weigh it, we're gonna balance it, and nobody is above the law and blah blah blah. Are they really? If you got billions of dollars in the bank, or you know 9 times out of 10, you might have a possibility of going to get that superstar lawyer,
right,
and getting off.
That's what that money is for.
Everybody say he's saying I don't know if that's what that money is for, Leonard. But my thing is this right here. Just like the late great Cochran, you know, he defended some people, and people still to this day say OJ is guilty. They say OJ got off because he had the best of attorneys. He had Cochran, and Cochran was good at what he did. OJ walked. The first time OJ walked. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, when you think about the fact that innocent people actually get exonerated after execution. Oh, y'all, we made a mistake. He didn't do it. Whoops, my bad.
Bring him back then. Bring him back.
We'll shoot y'all a little money for our mistake of taking his unique, special life and locking him up all that time and not believing him because he didn't have enough money. And even if he did, depending on the situation, he still was innocent. He might have had money and they still would have fought him tooth and nail because he was a danger to their agenda. And he was using that money the wrong way. He ain't about what they're about. He's a danger. We got him, y'all. That's terrible. But it's even worse when you start seeing that there are people dead guilty and they walk around not even rich, but they just used to be cops and they part of the good old boy system. Like Ahmaud Arbery and the McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? I think they said the last night of McDonald's or whatever. I can't remember what their last name was.
Yeah, McDonald.
So I mean, you know, that makes the fact that somebody can be incarcerated for 20, 30, 40 years and then found innocent after they done spent most of their life. Probably got locked up at 17 and ain't getting out to their 55. Didn't get out to their 55 if they were lucky, depending on what they were charged with. That's one thing, but it makes it even worse to know that you can see people, allow people to do the same thing on camera with witnesses, flying girls across international lines and have photos and witnesses, and these people still walk around free doing what they want to do. Now, I'm agreeing with you. I ain't going to say money is for that. I'm going to say people use money for that.
Yeah. And they do. And they really do. All right, let's jump to the next topic. Leonard, what's on your heart? This is Way Out Wednesday, brother. What's on your heart? What you want to talk about this morning? Leonard, you there? Leonard went and got something to eat. Leonard went and got something to eat. Okay, there you go. Okay. What's on your heart, brother? What topic you want this morning?
I think what I have been most concerned with, just newsworthy things, you know, the positioning of China, which is different, this new little thing here. with Nancy Pelosi and China.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, whether people understand it or agree with it or try to turn it into something else, it's huge for one country to imply where another country shouldn't go,
Mm.
especially America,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in Taiwan and that issue.
So is it that America is telling people where they should or should not go?
No, it's China.
Trying to tell America where they shouldn't? Wow.
Right. And then when that plane landed, just the types of gesturing that certain countries use.
Do you think it's because how much money do you think we owe China?
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily sure it's about how much money we owe China,
Mm-hmm.
but you know,
But
it's
we
just
do owe them billions.
right. And
Mhm.
it's not like me owing you money. It's
Yeah.
not like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when people talk about we owe, yeah, surely you owe, but not like me and you owe.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought of China still threatening America's relationship with Taiwan at this point shows me that, you know, a lot of people just are trying to take advantage of a particular situation
Mm-hmm.
and how the tables change and how people appear to be working with one another. And then all this type of gesturing that people will do.
I see a lot of things, and I don't know if I don't know if I'm actually staying the same with your conversation that you're having right now, or I'm veering off just a little bit. But I do see a lot of things either made in China or made in Taiwan.
Yeah, things been made in Taiwan forever, just
Yeah.
like China.
So is that a part of the battle?
Yeah,
Do you think
basically,
it goes back to economics?
yeah, Taiwan presents too much competition to Chinese markets,
Mm-hmm.
and it has always been a place where American can count on to produce goods at
Yeah.
practically so low a cost
Mm-hmm.
that they feel threatened.
Even with that, and there's so many different layers and so many different avenues that we could go with this part of the conversation. So thank you for bringing this to the table. Even with that, when you deal with how these products are being made and the labor force that's out there to do it, a lot of times it's children and you know, they actually out there working sun up dirt dark sun up to light bright sundown to produce these products, and it's almost like a form of plantation, if you will. I'm not gonna say slavery, because they're doing it because they want to, I guess. But how do you feel about that? How they're producing these products and who they're using?
Well, it depends. I don't do slave labor type situations.
Mm-hmm.
However, in certain economies, if people want to work and these are the jobs that they are choosing,
Mm-hmm.
that's their choice as well. Just like here,
Mm-hmm.
it's your choice what you choose to work for. So, you know, different economies, different people.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know that the majority of people want to participate in the American economy
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's where a lot of the money is.
Mm-hmm.
So America has also tried to, you know, practice human rights when it comes to dealing with certain countries
Mm-hmm.
and their histories. Definitely that slave labor thing
Mm-hmm.
poses a threat, or it doesn't look good for America
At all.
to be utilizing those that type of labor. But
Mm-hmm.
it ain't like they have not done it before.
True fact. But my thing is, and I'm gonna go to Badger, but my thing is this right here. You have people like, and I hate to point the finger at this individual, but people like Trump that say make America blah 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 blah. Let's build this, let's make it in America, blah. But everything that he do, all of his countries, wow, all of his majority of all of his products, 8 to 10% of his products, if not all of them, are made in a place like China or Taiwan.
Right. And that's how you know people are liars.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what they say. They just lie. And they
Mm-hmm.
expect you to believe it. And some people do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, lying don't have no face. Really, anybody tell a lie. It's up to you to go home if you're listening to it to find out whether it's the truth or not.
Mm-hmm.
However, no businessman goes into business wanting to pay their labor top dollar. So we're gonna display. We're gonna really understand that labor is a liability to some people. It don't matter whether you black, white, or not. You always trying to pay less and get more.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say, we again, like I said, we're gonna go to Badger. Am I hearing you say that if a person going to business saying I'm gonna pay my labor what they deserve, they're looking to fail?
They're gonna fail.
Business.
They're gonna fail. What sense do it make for me to provide a product for $12 and charge you $12? That don't make sense.
You're gonna walk out the door empty.
And anybody that believes that does make sense, God help you, because you need medication.
Badger, what's on your heart?
For people that know me really well, I am not a big fan of corporations being overseas. I'm a firm believer that we have enough resources here. The only difference is people don't want to pay people. They want to keep those billions and trillions and all that stuff they got. So why in the world would you not use children to make your products, or pay absolute minimum to do a job? And some of them don't have a choice. Well, okay, I'll say it like this: the only choice they have is to die. I know quite a few people that came over here because they didn't have a freedom to choose where they worked. So they worked hard to get over here, to get away from it all. So it depends on where you're at, what company is running everything. And the part talking about the Trump stuff, the crazy part is those tariffs that he increased didn't affect any of his companies.
Yeah.
It just affected the electronics companies, which makes everything go up. So, I mean, in reality, look at what happened to Detroit. They got tired of actually wanting to take care of people because of unions and stuff like that. And now I don't think there's really a vehicle that's 100% American made anymore. Like, just straight up. So, and any American made products, you have to charge so much because of the cost of materials here, that it is cheaper to go overseas because of the way the government has things set up here. So it's a vicious cycle. When are people going to be brave enough to stop it?
Exactly. Rico, talk to me, brother. And we got two callers. Callers, we're coming to you in just 1 second.
If you ever want to beat a dead horse, talk about this. One thing about it, Leonard said it a second ago, people are liars. And especially when it comes to money, they get to be greedy liars. So this thing gonna always do what it do. And if you just keep concerning yourself with it, you'll never stop talking about it. Look at the stock market. Is it ever gonna stay up and never crash again? Not as long as people are involved. Heard about what the Rothschilds did a long time ago? I mentioned a company called Valore. I'm gonna stop sharing information though, because if people ain't gonna look it up, then what's the use of me sharing it? But this applies. When you talk about people controlling resources and wanting to make money and not being fair, sharing profits. See, because the richest people in the world are pretty much doubling their worth every year now. They're getting richer at a faster rate. That means somebody ain't sharing some stuff, because poverty is getting worse. A lot more people struggling. So, I mean, you really can pay people fairly and not just have to pay them. I mean, because when you look at the bigger picture, some of these people is out here doing the work for a large corporation or a part of an organization. They do realize that the company has to go back and reinvest into the things that they produce. So, you know, it's obvious that the company's got to make some money to stay afloat, to provide that service. So, you know, that's obvious it has to happen. But when you throw greed in the mix and corruption with this economy thing, you start seeing what China is fighting. I mean, all this control of resources and greed, man, that's what it really all boils down to. But when you, this is one side of it is the fact that it wouldn't survive. It wouldn't really mean a lot if we weren't such consumers. Because you said something about Trump, all of his products. He's a producer. And he don't care. He just providing what consumers want. And he marketing it the best way possible. And he lying about making America first.
Yeah.
Because he's producing it in China.
Exactly.
But see, his money over everything. And if you look at where we are standing now in our society, all the way around, you can see what the mindset of money over everything has done to our families, to our communities, to our judicial system, to our healthcare system, to our mental health. Money over everything. They created this system. Greedy people, lying, greedy people. They actually made the stock market crash at one point in time. So, I mean, you know, hey, same people manipulating wars and everything. So if you ever want to be the dead horse, put all your values and then all your focus in this and be the biggest consumer that you can be. Or back up and start getting more practical and understand that really and truly you realize what's going on, but you don't have to be such a big part of the success of it. Because much of that success is going to be the common person self-destruction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go to the phone line. We got Mr. Hicks and we have Dr. Cook. I'm coming to you next. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, girl. Doing fine. Pray everybody's doing well.
Hey, good to have you back, sir. Definitely good to have you back. What's on your heart about what we're talking about right now?
I was thinking about my youngest son when he was born. All the rest of his sibling was older and moving out the house, going to college and stuff. And he was just like born with this kind of thing of looking for fairness. That was his favorite thing. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. As he got older and went out in the world, was still there. And it's still there. And my whole thing told him was what my mother told me when I asked the same questions, you know, traveling from north to south and looking at, she worked in an expensive neighborhood and with all of a sudden the houses look good and then they start breaking down and ask questions why and fairness. And I think the thing was coming to grips, you know, you go into that stage, I decided that's the one. I got a feedback coming in.
Yeah, you kind of skipping a little bit there too. You have some issues with your line, but go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead, brother.
Really good though. Was you decide to play the game where they play it? No one's being fair, so I'm not going to be fair. And you go to that stage, and you just get to the point of recognizing that this utopia, this kind of ideal of things being perfect, it just don't exist in this world. But you can find situations where it could be perfect for you. And I guess I don't expect fairness. You know, I don't expect respect from people. You know, I want it from people. But I've learned in my life that you don't always get what you think you should have.
Yeah.
And the whole task is how do you handle it when you're being treated unfair? You know, but that's just you know, in the ideal world, that utopia is part of Marxist strategy. Is having this ideal where there could be a situation where man can live on the earth and there'll be no poverty, there'll be no sickness. But scriptures tell you these things are going to be with us to the end. It's a world where all the institutions around us are corrupted. That's just a fact.
Exactly. Let's go to Dr. Cook. Dr. Cook, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How is everyone else?
Hey, doing good, sis. What do you think about what we're talking about right now? What's on your heart?
Well, I've been saying it for some time.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 80s, we were looking at a lot of the companies leaving, were going out of business, and they said they were moving to other countries um, because they can make more money. They don't have to pay people our people's benefits,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave everyone little small severance pay. This
Mm-hmm.
has been going on for some time, but the thing is, our minds were not there at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
now all of this is opening up our minds. So we just need to be cognizant of all of that. Some people don't want to look at that, but we do. And so one thing that really made me look at it and not want to purchase a lot of things from China, I had to purchase something a little while ago, about a month or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I put those items on that. Whatever chemical is in that item broke me out,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still dealing with that now. So that really opened up my eyes and my mind to let us know that we don't need to purchase anything from China or from some of these other countries because we don't know what's in those clothes or anything that we receive from there.
Mm-hmm.
They may have things in them that's slowly killing us. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm dealing with that right now. I'm trying to get rid of I broke out. I don't know what chemical it was that they had in that material, but we just need to open up our minds to this fact. And I totally agree with everything Mr. Rico was saying. And he is giving us some powerful information, and I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the
Yes.
information that he's giving us.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, that's all I have to say. We just need to be careful with a lot of things that we receive from there, and we need to stop being heavy consumers from out of other countries, especially China.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Curtis, you there?
Hey, bro? How you doing?
Hey, doing good, man. We're talking about how it has been said mainly by our ex president, former president, whatever you want to clarify on sir, that we need to stop buying stuff from all countries and make America great again and build here in America. But majority of the companies, I keep saying companies that he have is mass produced in places like China or Taiwan, mainly China, is where most of the stuff is made. Now, is he lying, Curtis? I'm lack of a better term. Is he just lying or is he blowing smoke? What do you?
Well, he showed you he was full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember?
No.
Oh man, he's a con artist, man. He's a con artist. He's doing what a con artist do.
Mm-hmm.
He showed you he was. If you remember, he was all on China. He was all
Mm-hmm.
until the Chinese government approved for his daughter line to be released in China, and they authorized his neckties and all that to be released in China. That's when China became, they're a really good friend of ours, and we're going to, But that whole tariff thing, it was all smoke and mirrors, man. He's a con artist. I don't, in our lifetime, we'll be able to say that we saw Ringling Brothers on steroids. He's the Power Ranger of the Ringling Brothers Bonner and Bailey Circus, man.
Wow.
That's all a lie, man. It was all a lie. It was all there's the whole China beef was because what's his daughter name? Ivanka.
Ivanka had a line of clothing and pocketbook accessories.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, that's when he ran with the whole turf, all of this. As soon as they allowed that to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, the thought about China was out the window. The same thing, the same connection with Russia. The connection with Russia, if y'all put in the connection with Russia, the real connection is it was a Trump Tower was built right there in Moscow by the Kremlin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything is he bought. I put a post. I responded to a post yesterday, and I said simple. When we go and admit that for maybe the first time in our history, our president was bought and paid for.
Mm-hmm.
He's been bought, man.
Wow. I need to know. And I'm coming to you, Leonard. Whatever happened to? Let me pull you back. I see you back there. Whatever happened to, Leonard? Mexico gonna build this wall for us. Whatever happened to that, man?
Hey, it happened. What happened to everybody that be selling tickets and don't show up for the show? That's what happened. You can say what you want. Doesn't mean it has to happen or it has to be true or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Mexico, they're gonna pay for the wall. We're gonna build the wall. It's gonna be the best wall you ever seen. You never seen the wall as great as this. You never seen a wall as beautiful, as great as this, as powerful as this. They're gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
they say they're not, but they're gonna pay for it. Yes,
it was a freak show then. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's still a bunch of freaks saying stuff.
Mm.
So you never know what somebody gonna say. It's just what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
What is really going to happen? What's gonna take place? About like the one signing that great piece of legislation, which wasn't even a piece of real legislation in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to his dealings with China, all that is, you can go pull all that up.
Yeah.
But for people, my biggest issue with certain things is the judgment call. Because you don't have to be president to be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
You can just be a quote friend of someone. So we should keep it at that level as opposed to us talking about people we really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing that's contributing to that? What are you doing to, if you're so against it, what are you doing to try and stop it? You could all be voting, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You could all be getting involved with local politics and doing certain things in your area, but you're not. So, I don't put a whole lot on sitting around just talking about other people like that. Here's the facts. What you gonna do about it? Mm-hmm. I don't fault people for being rich. I don't care nothing about people and their money. I have different policies and things that I would look for because I'm not a big fan of foreign direct investment without regulation.
How do you feel about the Bitcoin?
I mean, it's just another matter. It's just another tool for trade.
Mm-hmm.
People should understand it if they're gonna get involved. Some people will, some people won't. That don't mean it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just depending on what level you playing the game at.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Rico,
people who don't want to play the game,
mm-hmm.
they're gonna have to understand. You got to stay out of it.
Mm-hmm. I saw an ATM machine, an ATM machine beside a regular ATM machine. One was a regular ATM machine, like you usually see.
Yeah.
And another one was a Bitcoin ATM machine. I like.
We have
wow.
several at the gas stations around here. A lot of gas stations have those virtual coin machines.
I was like, wow. Okay. Rico, what's on your heart? How do you feel about the Bitcoin? Is it a good, bad, and different? Or what do you think about
it? I don't think nothing about it. It's just there. Mm-hmm. You can use it or you don't have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it proves that we could have created another source of economy for the last 20 or 30 years. You know what, man? Let us be saying a lot of real stuff sometimes, man. Instead of just sitting back thinking, you ought to act on it, find a way to make it happen. And I've been saying for, man, at least 25, 30 years, man, we can create our own way of trade, our own system of currency, even just within the black community. I'm like, well, what if we just started trading and bartering amongst ourselves in a different way? We created a different value system. And then we just used their dollar when we needed to use their dollar. Man, we would accumulate so much money that we could take their system over and make the dollar worth what we wanted to make it be worth. Because we would have so much money put up like the honest. But then I heard other people in higher places, higher positions than me. Oh man, that'll never work. That'll never work. You can't have it. I'm like, but really and truly, the dollar is based off nothing. If you look at that dollar bill, that $10 bill and that $100 bill, all the thing different on it is the ink and the digits. But it's the same exact material. The only thing that makes that money different is the print press. And we live by it. We might not get out of prison if we don't have enough of the ones with 100 printed on them. Exact same basic resources, but worth more because we psychologically drank that Kool-Aid. So, you know, man, like, you know, I'm going to tell you something. You know what makes a dope dealer successful?
What's that?
Dope things. Dope things. Drug addicts. Guess who makes Trump successful?
What's that?
People that's addicted to talking to him and he ain't worth 2 cents. But people value him. If it wasn't for society, Trump wouldn't be worth anything, but we don't have any standards. You know, that we have a crazy value system. We are consumers. Actually, we love Trump just because he had money. You remember all these rappers were singing about him in their music. I want to be like Donald Trump. You want to be like who?
Bill Gates, Donald Trump. Let me in now. Be your friend now.
But
that's Nelly.
But you didn't know nothing about the Central Park boys.
Yeah.
And how he felt about that, and you didn't know about his daddy or his granddaddy or whatever. Who's supposed to be in the KKK? You want to be like Donald Trump. Money over everything. You know what I'm saying? So everything we talk about China and Taiwan, it's about money. Power, control, resources, and producers and consumers. And you know, I'm going to tell you, like, to me, this is what an honest dollar is to me. When you come up with the concept that benefits everybody, and you don't try to rape them for it, but you just get a little bit off of it. I saw a video where a man, he was telling how he made his money. You could tell he had money, but this little thing was, you know, they showed you what this man had, and you had to guess what he did for a living. So they asked him what he did for a living. He said, I just collect money. He was like, well, how you collect money? He said, I came up with an invention, pretty much I'm going to say a tool. To where I want to say, he said, everybody in the world, but it's been a while since I saw the video. He said, everybody in the world that uses a credit card, whether they swipe it or just, you know, using anything with the credit system, I make a penny off of it. Some part that he played in that when he made the patent or whatever, he went into business, he charged a penny for it. And everybody uses it, and he's wealthy, filthy rich. That's an honest dollar. You ain't charging nobody but a penny.
Yeah.
And everybody has to use it. But you think about the people that's charging everybody $200 or $300. How much money they making?
Exactly.
This guy was, I mean, he was wealthy. So I mean, you know, it's like we have to learn the part that we're playing in making this system successful. That's really working against the people as consumers, as dope things, as addicts. Everybody's an addict, but your drug might not be crack and heroin. It might be Michael Jordan shoes.
Exactly.
Might be LeBron James shoes.
Okay, let me keep it going.
It might be the shoes. Well, go ahead.
Okay, good. Let me go to Captain. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Okay, can't hear you. Hit your volume for me. I can see your lips move. We can't hear you though. I got a heck of a question for you, sir. Got a heck of a question for you. Can't hear you. Go out and come back in. Hopefully that'll fix it. Go out and come back in. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there? Talk to me.
for me, Raheem, you know, I think, God, a lot of folks in the last probably 20 years, a lot of folks, I guess, fell in love with the idea of being wealthy. You know, like this whole experience that we went through is we basically just watch a live play out right in front of our faces.
Mm-hmm.
Right. First and foremost, let's correct one thing, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and say it, put it out there. The man's name actually ain't Trump.
Mm-hmm.
That's first and foremost. And for anybody who's a conspiracy theorist or that's just thinking historically, the question should be, why did they change it? The man's name or the family's name is actually Trump. It's German.
Mm-hmm.
They flee the Nazi occupation during the war. If I'm not mistaken, it was after the war was lost. You understand? So if you're a conspiracy theorist, you should be asking yourself, why? I mean, it's kind of hard to see that they switched their name. I know historically people did that to cover up their real names because their names was connected to a criminal war manifest, a war criminal manifest. So, you know, back in them days, you know, if you was Caucasian, you could come to America and then melt into the society. So supposedly, according to what the historical data says, they boarded a ship, come here to America, and landed at Ellis Island in New York. And the grandfather switched the name from Trump to Trump. Okay, so that whole existence of that family is realistically, I mean, I hate to say it like just because I love family, but the whole existence of that family is a lie. The whole existence of the wealth is a lie. The father was wealthy. The father did not want to leave. Now, this is reported from his mother. The father did not want to leave one red dime to Donald. They knew he was a horrible businessman. They knew he was a horrible person. They knew something was wrong. Everything was supposed to have been left to his brother and his sister. He went behind, he went and paid for the courts to do some things in New York. That's why they trying to kind of quell some of this New York stuff, because it's not the Trumps that's going to be in trouble. There's some judges that's going to be on the hook for some of the things that he's been allowed to do. There's some influential people in New York that's going to be on the hook if all this stuff come out. But he has been paying the judicial system for rulings in his favor when he has gotten them in his favor. Now, over the last 10, 15 years, you've seen where the judicial system say, okay, hold on, enough is enough, brother.
30 seconds,
like, we
Curtis.
uncovered you and go sit down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole existence of that family is a lie. He blew all that money.
Mm-hmm.
When he ran for president, the reason why he was able to move the way that he moved, and you know, they made it sound like, oh, he came out his pocket and paid. Man, that man didn't come out his pocket and pay for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He used the money from his nonprofits, and he used the money of the voter who was crazy enough to send this con man money to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And those same voters are paying for his lawyer fees. They're paying for all of that. He's not paying for nothing. Been told the world,
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't buy that. He rich, he's broke.
Exactly. Hold on, Curtis.
He's
Got
broke.
to keep it moving. Hold your thought right there, Captain. Can we hear you? Can we hear you this morning? Let me see. Can we hear you, brother? Captain, might need to get you to call in because for some reason your volume is not coming on. Might need to get you to call in. Call in for us. Badger, what's on your heart?
Man, history, dude. I mean, just I get it's sort of like what Rico said earlier, you know, beating a dead horse. I mean, our country's been dealing with this for how long? People in power using other people, either as free labor or whatever they decide they want to do. Think about how things used to be made. How long would a refrigerator last? How long would a car last? And so on, right? And look at things today. You got computer chips that literally just, man, that here, this is 10th generation, 11th generation, 13th generation, 100th generation. And in reality, all it is a program. Just telling the computer chip how fast they can work. But I guess that's what makes me a conspiracy theorist. What do I know, right? But to me, that's just part of what's going on in this society is we have to be able to see through the illusions, see through the toxicity, and figure out what in the world is actually right in front of us. So and in my opinion, that's why school systems are kind of getting worse. They don't want people to be educated. They want them to think the way they want them to think.
Okay. Good deal. Let me go to our Dr. Cook. Dr. Cook, what's on your heart? Are we addicted? Do you think we are addicted to money and finance?
To a certain degree, we are. To a certain degree, we are. Basically, people know we need money in order to survive, but some of us become addicted to it. Some of us become addicted to that limelight. They see everyone else living this type of life, and they want to live it as well. And I'm kind of guilty. I was like that to a certain degree until I learned. But people are addicted to that, to money.
Wow. Captain, we should be able to hear you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead, sis. Finish your thought.
So not everyone, but you know, a lot of people are because they want that type of life.
Wow. Captain, you with us?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm not sure.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Absolutely. Want to ask you this question. We talking about finances. We're talking about money, and I know the way it's set up, the way the system is set up. Certain amount of money is needed for certain things, but have we become addicted? Have we become addicted? People get addicted to drug, alcohol, whatever. But are we all addicted to money?
Well, let me say this. Money may not be everything, but it ranks up there with air.
Wow.
And so we know what that means. If money ranks up there with air, that means the more air you got, the better you can breathe. And some people see money the same way. The more you got, the better off you are. I have people that say, well, people with money is miserable. Well, there's poor people that's miserable. If we had to choose, which one would you choose? I guess I would like to be a miserable rich man than a miserable poor man. But there's no question about it. You know, people are driven by money.
money gives you access to a lifestyle that all of us yearn to have. America or the world is a materially driven society. I bet you 70 to 80% of most advertisements that we come in contact with is things that appeal to our desires, whether it be a woman, whether it be a car. It's kind of sad that all of those that are in celebrity, especially the men, especially the rappers, they're driven to fame, they're driven to money, only to be able to get them a woman. You know, I mean, you know, finance, a romance with no finance is a new thing. So yes, people are driven to money. You got a Powerball that just somebody is just almost making billions of dollars.
Yes, sir.
But you can imagine everybody that plays. Now, I think everybody on this line, well, I don't say everybody, but the majority of the people that's on this line play. Why? Money.
Yeah.
Money. What would money do? Give me better access to a better way of life. Yes, there are people that are addicted to money, and there's people that think the attitude that the Bible says, a fool and his money will soon depart. So yes, man, money gives people access to a lifestyle that gives them a better quality of peace or better quality of life. That's how I see it, dear brother.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Joseph. Joseph, what do you say to that, brother? Are we as a whole, as a society, are we addicted to money? Like some people are addicted to drugs and alcohol, food, sugar, or whatever. Are we all addicted to money? And
yes,
why?
and I think first of all, good morning to everybody. Man.
Good morning, sir.
Man, I'm still on a high from the conversation we had yesterday or last night.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know, living in a capitalist society, without capital, you can't do much of nothing. And you know, in this you know, kind of market. But when I notice how much we're influenced by money and how it you know it pervades the whole of our society. Like if you know, here in Atlanta, if you go to Buckhead, you'll hear a Buckhead sermon at church. Then if you go down to the poor Bankhead, you'll hear a Bankhead sermon. The sermons are different, you know. And the question that are we serving two different Jesuses? But you know, we got a capitalist Jesus, and then we have you know the other Jesus. But it's, I mean, even when you look at our religion, you could see how it is affected and impacted by the love of money, man. Now remember, the scriptures say the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money. I mean, if you could possess it and not let it possess you, then you do well. But yeah, I think we are kind of addicted to it to a great degree. But we got to keep our mind with us, as Solomon said when he set out to know wisdom. Don't lay your wisdom aside while you experimenting with things, you know, in the earth and evaluating things. And, you know, your wisdom with you. You don't want to be intoxicated by greed, of course, because you see what the world condition is in with the misuse of money. You know, the rich and powerful, they buy politicians all day and change political issues on the ballot and so on and so forth. I mean, they control us through money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can the promise, Leonard, can the promise of money change a person? And what I mean by that is, if I come to you, I say, Leonard, you know, and I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there. I say, Leonard, I need you to go blase, and do this right here. And once you do it, whatever that something is, I'm going to give you $10,000. Where do you go from there?
How am I going to get to 10,000?
You have to, certain thing I have that you have to do. Go do this. And when you get it done, come back to me and I'm going to write you a check on the spot for $10,000. Whatever that something is.
I ain't got no problem with that. Why would I have a problem with that? I ain't anti-money because I ain't got it. I've never been anti-money. I don't assume that people with money are better than people that don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is a tool to do whatever you want to do.
Are we addicted to it?
No, because a lot of us can't get it.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just saying. So you know, when you talk about addiction and things, that's just too much. That's too much to say. Sounds great, but addicted to money? How you addicted to money? Like I said, if you got money to get rid of, the $ LENJONES. I tell anybody this. All the anti-money people, dollar ain't this, dollar ain't that. Send me your money. That tells me exactly who you are.
But my thing is, my question is, do you think people are addicted to it? Like they could be addicted to drugs, they could be addicted to alcohol, sugar, or whatever. I beg to differ, but go ahead. Everybody got their own opinion. Go ahead, bro.
Because one, you're talking about two completely different things. Two completely different things. Now, there's one thing that's associated that's called greed. You can be very greedy for money,
which could guide your addiction.
But addiction in itself has to do with what is it doing for you? Like, say, for instance, you can get a whole bunch of money and it still don't satisfy you. Drugs will satisfy you. At a certain level, you will die. Your body craves drugs and these types of things. That's addiction.
Well,
addiction, but wanting money, but when you get money, you get the whole thing about having the money is giving it away.
What you're saying to me, and I certainly don't want to let me stop your time. My thing is, what you're saying to me is, on the physical level, you're saying that you're dealing with addiction on a physical level, and then there's other levels as well. See, money you could be addicted to money on a psychological level, or different things like that, where you feel like you have to have it. You have to have it because people have killed themselves when the money start looking funny. People have committed suicide because they're that driven by having money or the lack of money. And so I really think that you really can't. I think. And like I said, that's my opinion. You can certainly have your own, but I think that you definitely can be addicted to money or going out there trying to get money. Because I know people that don't work themselves to almost to death, if not to death, trying to obtain this dollar bill.
But that's not really addiction. That's not addiction. You know, it would be shame of us for us to confuse the two. Once you ain't got no money, you just ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Money is something you use to get something else. Ain't nobody just sitting in their house, just stacking money up, going broke, not spending it. They ain't eating it. They're using it to get something else. Money isn't the end game. It's what they can do with the money. People do drugs. They use their drug up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're looking for that high. Money is different. You get money simply to give it away. To give it away in exchange for other things.
Okay. If that be the case, $ DKM Radio. DKM Radio.
Exactly.
$ D. If you want to give, like Mary always say, and Mary said, Daddy, I said, yeah. She said, Biggie said, more money, more problems. I'm here to take away some of your problems.
Exactly. I used to tell young people that start organizations, their main thing was to go after the legacy organizations, right? Hey, y'all just about the money. You'll be back here in 6 months asking me for $1.
Let me keep this thing going. Let me go to wow, it's a lot going on right now. Let me go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
One of them is like, oh no. I'm perfectly fine just having enough to live on. I don't want to be rich. I have no interest in it. To me, rich is having family. I know a lot of people would do a lot of crazy things from $1 bill. So it's just, I guess it's a perception of how you view the IOU.
And that's what it is.
Huh?
I say, and that's what it is. IOU. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's all throughout history. Anyone that doesn't know that the dollar bill or any of the dollar bills is an IOU, they didn't pay attention in history class. So to me, it's how much are you going to fight for it, and how much of your soul do you want to sell for it? Now, don't get me wrong. I have seen some really awesome people that had money that did a lot of good for their communities, but they don't ever get put on the news. They don't want nobody to know. They wanted to help people because they wanted to. No recognition, no nothing. And to me, that's where the line gets drawn. They have enough to get what they need to get done, take care of their family, and they save money to the side to help the community.
That's good.
So it's a balancing act. Who are you going to be with the money that you're given? Are you going to be like the corrupt people, or are you? I'm not going to go there. Never mind.
Hey, right here, I have a question when you get a chance.
Okay, let me play this commercial real quickly, and then we're gonna circle around. I'll be right back to you. Y'all pay attention to this commercial that we have right now.
DKM Media Group and Associates. It's great that you have your new business. Now, what's your next move? Don't let this brick wall block your success. Stop all that worrying and contact DKM Media Group and Associates. DKM Media Group and Associates will get the ball bounces for you and your business. Great success rates, many avenues to select from. It's up to you. Give us a call today, 770-676-1552. Contact us today, dkmmediagroup1@gmail.com. Celebrate the victory. You deserve it.
Good deal. Now, of y'all that was actually watching, you see that there was a visual that went along with that particular commercial, but other ones you just heard the audio. But it's much more effective if you see the visual that goes along with it. What do you think about that, Leonard? Did you see it?
Yeah. I love, that's what you should be doing. That's cool.
Good
People,
deal.
like I said, people need to promote themselves and their products and services and things like that, because that's what you have to offer. And it's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with success or any of that at all. It's amazing. And the one question I wanted to ask, since this is Way Out Wednesday, what is this selling your soul thing about? I've been hearing it I know all these people in the music industry use it a lot, and this, that, and the other. And I'm trying to figure out, what is that? What is selling your soul?
Let's take it around. It's Way Out Wednesday, man. Let's talk about it. Rico, what is selling your soul?
I'm not going to address it because they already told you what it was. If you listen to it, they told you what they did. They told you how they felt. Now you could dismiss it, just like everybody else that said that you could be addicted to money, and you dismiss that. So maybe we'll be on in a minute. If she listening, I know she gonna kill that.
Who's that?
Because it is an addiction. Maybe. We're gonna talk to a psychiatrist, a behavioral specialist that would tell you that people are addicted to gambling. Gambling don't make them calm. They can kiss a gambling machine, but they might hit the jackpot and they get addicted. They lose everything trying to gain a little bit more. What are they trying to win? It sure ain't no sex. But if they win, they can buy all the sex they want. If they win, they can buy all the sugar they want. If they win, they can buy all the crack they want. Y'all ever seen Intervention? Ever been a part of one?
I've seen.
Ever heard a crackhead or a dope fiend or an addict in denial? When people love something, they refuse to admit they're addicted to it. But guess what? Majority rules. And then science is going to come on in about another hour. When she come on, you address this question to her, the professional, and ask her, are people addicted to money?
Well, we also have
not only are they addicted to money, but they are addicted to what money can do for them. We are addicted to products, and we can't get products without money. Listen, people would do something strange for a little piece of change. That ain't no lie.
Exactly.
People do a lot of strange things for a piece of change.
Let me say this to you.
When you start talking about the necessity, but then the lines you will cross to get it, to demean yourself and traumatize yourself and self-destruct yourself to get this dollar so you could go and buy other products. So you can go buy these same Jordans that you say you don't want to buy because, well, you don't want to patronize people that's using slave labor from China and all these other countries. But when them Jordans come out, you the first thing in line.
30 seconds.
Spending bill money that you can't even really afford to spend. You consumer, you. But see, that's the thing about behavioral addiction, of being an addict, period. Sometimes you're in denial, and then sometimes you just don't realize it. And that's the worst one, the one that don't realize that they're addicted.
Let me go to Curtis. Because Curtis also is a counselor. Curtis, what is this whole mindset, this whole concept of selling your soul? Is that even possible?
Well, first off, selling your soul is not possible because it's not your soul. That's the spiritual side of it all. But people do put it up for sale, and we cannot negate that. What it means is, Rico just said it, when you're willing to do something strange for a piece of change, or you're willing to ignore the denigration and humiliation of a particular group of people for your own personal gain. So selling your soul, some people can take it literal, and some people can take it emblematical. It is when you deny your very own conscience to benefit you and only you. That's what it is. Now, to address this addiction issue, I personally know at least 4 dudes, 2 of which is still in prison, 1 of which got 74 years.
Good Lord.
On his first offense, right here, they gave him 74 years.
Fed.
I know 74 years state time, not fed time. Once the state hit him with the numbers, the Fed said, man, we ain't even gonna mess with them. We're gonna leave them alone. They done did what they need to do. Solely because of their addiction to money. I got a homeboy just came home off a 37-year bid. If you talk to him, he'll tell you, man, I got addicted to the bread. I got addicted to hearing the money machine count all this money, because now I realize that whatever I wanted to do, I could do. I mean, this brother was getting so much paper, Raheem. We see folks going back and forward to the Bahamas and to Greece and all this. This brother was doing this back in the mid-'80s.
Wow.
Like it was nothing. You know what I mean? So the idea that addiction is only a physical push clinically is a fraudulent idea. It's not. Addiction is psychological, it's physical, it's spiritual. There are those who are addicted to going to church. We don't want to say it. But there are those that is addiction is primarily based around the endorphins that is released from the brain. You understand? So, I mean, that's just my input on what the topic is. But we got to get out of the habit of trying to make everything so finite. When when you look at addiction, you got to look at it like a tree. A tree has many branches with many leaves on it. But what has happened is over the years, they have tried to make it so finite because the more you dig into addiction and the results of addiction, the more it will cost you medically. The more insurance companies will have to cover. The more, you see what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
like
right.
mental health, bro.
Land it, Curtis.
Like a part of addiction is mental health. No, I'm done, bro. I'm done. My bad.
Good day. Let me go to Captain. Captain, what's on your heart, man? Can a person sell their soul? Can a person sell their soul? And I guess we're talking about to the devil. I guess that's what we're talking about. What do you say to that, Captain?
I heard Dr. Leonard ask that question, and you know I have great admiration for the doc. I mean, he brings certain type of questions that require answers that make sense. And I heard what Brother Curtis said, and most certainly I liked with Brother Rico how he presented addiction. But we have to also look at, and I'm going to get to the soul part because we know that could be a metaphor where, it's not really because you can't sell your soul because nobody can touch your soul. Nobody can see the soul. The soul is not tangible, but the soul is the very existence of one spirit. And you can't see a spirit. You can't touch a spirit. If the soul is the existence of one spirit, it is the essence of one. You can't get nothing more out of a human being in the spiritual realm than their soul. So when you hear somebody say soul, that is the meaning and the quintessence of their existence. That's me. If I give you my soul, I've given you all of me. But can I give it to you? Can you see it? Can you touch it? Can you put it in his face? No. But it is saying that I'm giving you everything of myself. And that's when you say, will they sell their soul for someone? They give it everything of themselves. They give up their morality. They give up their principles. They give up their integrity. For what? So the scripture says, will you gain the world but sell your soul? You sell your soul to gain the world, you give up your experience. Now, when you ask these people addicted to money, no, we kind of get confused that there are some people that fear poverty. I'm going to say that again. It may not be I'm addicted. I'm just afraid to be poor. I'm afraid of poverty. I fear poverty. It ain't money. Money is the means of exchange. Money gives me the opportunity to get out of poverty. And those who have got a few dollars now, who used to be in poverty, they can become addicted because they don't want to go back to poverty. They don't want to go back to the time where the people cut off the electric and put a daggone foreclosure note on that. Some of them been through that. That's a painful thing. So you don't want that no more. So how do you maintain not to get it? Money. I may not be addicted to money. I may have a fear of poverty. And I think we need to understand that. And I like what Rico said. People go to the daggone, you gamble. You might gamble for donuts and sandwiches and steaks. You pulling that one-armed bandit to get money.
Yeah.
Because money gives you a means by which you're able to get out of your condition and overcome what most people fear is poverty. I hope I answered the question.
Absolutely. Leonard, was your question answered?
I love like Captain. That's what I was looking for. With Captain Dennis comes back with something tangible. Because a lot of times we say things, and if you keep saying things that don't really assess issues, you never come up with a solution to anything. Now, it's amazing to me that because one thing I know about dope is you want dope to use it. And once you use it, it's gone. Then you go out and do something. See, then you got people say, well, working, is working addiction? Really? Is it an addiction? Is having things, what is so, people love to disassociate themselves from their own behavior and then try to call it something else.
That's not it.
Show me a serious bargaining of one's soul to do anything. Either you that type of person or you not. I mean, that's how you do. Money, like say, if you get all your money, you should just give it away. You know what I'm saying? For what you want. It's an medium of exchange.
Leonard, let me stop this time for a second. Do you think that would satisfy the purpose? Because if a person is addicted to money and they're doing all these things to get their money and then they get it just to give it away, didn't they just go against the grain of what they were trying to do in obtaining this money?
Right. That's why I don't really buy the whole addiction notion of it. Because it's not like you want to keep it to yourself. You go right out and spend it. You know what I'm saying? You know, people spend because they have. You can't spend if you don't have. People do drugs to get high. Once they get high, that's the end. Go get some more drugs. But you may have a gambling problem. You may have a spending addiction. But surely it's not just something, is it something about the money that you just go and you just look at it and you sit around it and you talk to it and you smell it? What is that thing that people associate with money?
Some people, brother. Some people.
Hold on.
Again, let me stop the time. But my thing, hold on. Leonard still got a minute and 3 seconds. Hold on, everybody. Leonard still got a minute and 3 seconds. I'm gonna say something. Then I'm gonna let him finish out his time. Then I'll move around to everybody else. I'm gonna make sure I give everybody the time that they're supposed to have the 3 minutes. But my thing is right here, Leonard. I've seen people addicted to money to the point whereas there's nothing in the world they would not do to obtain it. And I say addicted, and maybe we need to use a different word outside of addicted. But I say addicted to it because that's what they do. That's their driving force.
They spending it?
They're spent. I know drug dealers, man, that they go out there and they make money, and they'll drop a head because they know in the next couple of hours I have this money back. They're addicted to it.
But you understand what I'm saying, though, don't you?
I do understand.
People that are drug addicts don't go get dope to give it to someone else.
Well, I don't think, and that's why I said earlier, it goes against the purpose of what they're trying to do. I don't think people go out there that's addicted to money, go out there to get that money just to give it away. They're not trying to give it away. They're trying to keep it because it's an addiction that they have, and it's something that they want to hold for themselves. I don't think that if a person is addicted to money, they're not going out there and say, I'm gonna get all this money, I'm gonna give it away. I'm just gonna give it away. Now I'm gonna go out there and no, they're getting the money, they're obtaining the money because they're addicted to the money. They want the money, they gotta have the money, they want to see, taste, smell, or whatever the money, not to give it away, but to keep it for themselves because that is their addiction. I don't see a lot of drug people that's addicted to drugs or alcohol going out there getting it and just to give it away. They get it because they want to use it themselves.
Exactly.
And so that's the same thing with the money situation. But you got a minute and 3 seconds left, brother. Starting your time back up.
Well, I'm just asking the question because I've been hearing a lot of things about it, and it seems like a lot of people are disassociating themselves with their actual behaviors. You know, and when you said addicted to money, I was like, I know people like to spend money, but I don't know too many people that just like to have it and don't spend it.
Well, they like to spend it too, but at the same time, that I don't think that negates the fact that they're addicted to it.
But if I'm an alcoholic, my goal is not to give you my alcohol. It's for me to use, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that's what's kind of different. And when you're talking about, like, even when you go in the casino, they got the signs up. Are you addicted to gambling? If you have a gambling problem or what have you. But just because you had to, right. Just because you had to, that's what you want to do with your money. And if it don't pose a problem for you, why would it pose a problem for me?
Wow.
Or anyone else?
We got we had your 3 minutes. I gotta go. We got Toya with a T with us right now. I'm gonna go to her and then we'll circle around. I know quite a few other people want to make certain comments on what we're talking about right now. But good morning, Toya with a T. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing. I'm confused. I don't know. Who keep their money?
I'm just asking because I don't know them people, Toya.
Who keep money? We spend money.
Yeah.
We spend money.
But my question.
And let me tell you something. When I get my rifle, I get my rifle too. I don't even keep my rifle. Lord Jesus.
help her, help her, Lord.
I'm talking about keeping stuff.
Look, help her, Lord, help her, Lord. But Toya, let me ask you.
That's right. I ask for help every day.
Toya, can a person be addicted? Can a person be addicted to money? What do you say to that? Starting your time.
That's me. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Love it. Gonna make it. Gonna get it. Gonna got to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't keeping it. No, I buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I tithe. I help people. I walk now looking to assist others the same way I would if you wanted to hit my blunt. I'm gonna let you hit my blunt just like if you said, let me borrow $20. Yeah, you got 20. Let's go. So I can do what I want to do with my addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Can't nobody dictate what I'm gonna do with my addiction. And that one thing we ain't doing is keeping it. Ain't no crackhead keeping a crack. They smoking it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ain't no gambler keeping their money because they finna go scratchy or play or rolly. And when they get that money, they're gonna do the same thing, just like a crackhead. You're gonna go get some more money, go get some more drugs. Most people are high by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody walking around here giving away no money. Dope dealers don't give away money. Bill Gates don't give away money. They buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You buy stuff from other people, and if you want to say that's giving away your money because you're giving it to other people, yeah. But what we get money for? To let it sit in a safe? No. So yeah, we all got addictions. I'm addicted to sex too. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Not to the point to where I'm just giving my booty away though. But I'm gonna give it to somebody. I ain't keeping it to myself. So you know what I'm saying? With an addiction, don't nobody keep it to themselves. Don't nobody that get high. Most folks don't get high by themselves. There are occasions where, yeah, you might. But for the most part, when you live in that world, you share. And you're running packs. And don't nothing get kept to themselves. So I'm kind of confused by the conversation because I'm in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Still, walking around with them late at night with no pistol.
So I'm stopping your time. You got 52 seconds left. So you're saying that if a person is addicted to money, they're not giving their money away. They're going out there buying things. Correct?
That's right. It's not. They don't just give it away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they're buying whatever their desire is, whether it's clothes, whether it's shoes, whether it's whatever, it's just very, very few people just sit on the money, and very few people give it away. To give it away means just you know what I'm saying? But that's not what we do when we after money.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what these millionaires do. When they worth $400 billion. When the last time you heard Bill Gates or the dude from Amazon, Jeff Bezos, give some money away?
Well, Oprah gave away them cars. Now you get a car, you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car.
Okay, but that's the tax write-off.
Absolutely,
still.
Absolutely. We ain't talking about that part now. We talking about you giving now. We talking about giving.
No, you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are. Yes, we are. Because you can't talk about one part of addiction for not. I'm not giving these cars away for me not to have money. I'm giving these cars away so that way I can get a tax cut, so I can keep more money and pay less taxes.
So it's greed.
All this stuff running around in a circle.
So it's greed.
Well, I'm not going to say it's greed. I think that some people just have a strategy, right? Like not all crackheads are the ones out there on the streets. You know, some people who do drugs work like normal people.
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't got to be carrying on, want to kill folks and all this for money. You know what I'm saying? But ain't no telling what Jeff Bezos may do to keep his.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Get it. Hold right there, Toy.
We're up here talking about the drug addict. You know what I'm saying?
Toy, hold right there. We got to keep it moving. Got to keep this thing rotating. Let me go to let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. 3 minutes.
Added sacrifice a lot of integrity and character. Now, we can make it keep sounding simple, but we know most times that crackheads gonna smoke up all their money, and they're gonna sacrifice the livelihood of their children or their families. They might even give up their family, lose their family, because they're addicted. But now I know some functioning crackheads that was able to maintain because they made enough money. They probably had other addictions too. But guess what? We're trying to associate Bill Gates, who is a producer, with a whole bunch of consumers. Bill Gates spent his money, he sure do. But have he hit the flow? If Bill Gates is worth 80 billion, you ain't heard of him spending 40 of it in 1 year. He started a building.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody might be putting some money in the safe and sitting on it. Because that's the whole purpose, to make sure you save for a bad day, or you will be foolish to just make all the money that you make and then spend it all.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can still be addicted, but you just have enough to cover all your addictions, even if it's sending young girls across the water so you can have all the fun with them that you want to. You got money, you got access. People make money to use it to get out of prison. That's what it's for. No. But that's what some people will use it for. So that's the reason why some people will sit on it. You ever heard of sitting on or having it for a bad day? Or we're just going to dismiss that to make everybody be wrong today. But we forget that people have bank accounts to save money. That's called being wise. We need to speak about financial literacy. You need to be, if you ain't getting money, you mad. Well, you know what? You ain't going to have no money if you're spending it all back out. But if you make enough of it and you get addicted to making it, and that's your drive and your motivation, it is a possibility that you might not spend it. Listen, I know people that will I know 2 people personally, the kindest people you will ever meet. But when it comes to making money, they get real opportunistic.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do they get opportunistic, they get conniving. They start moving another way. Well, business is business. This ain't personal. Personal is personal. Business is business. You ever heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds like a person that might be addicted to money, where they'll just throw everything out the window when it comes to money. And I know some person like that. But imagine being told, shame on you if you think that's an addiction. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. It's true. You can't tell us to dismiss what we've seen. Mm-hmm. You can't tell us to dismiss what a man has said himself. Freeway Ricky Ross said, I was addicted to the money. I was making $1 million a day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I used to just count it over and over. Same thing Curtis said. I used to get addicted to listen to that money counter. Yeah, I spent it, but I had enough to spend where it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Some dope dealers get out their own supply. You can't even tell because they're making so much money. Mm-hmm. But the other addictions, the finer things, the red bottoms and the Jordans and the trips, sooner or later that might add up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So those are consumer still. But Bill Gates ain't hit the floor yet. Mm-hmm. And guess what? He's spending big bucks.
Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I was thinking about the question you asked Leonard earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what exactly would you have asked them to do for 10,000?
Not gonna put that out there, brother.
So I remember one of the times we did What If, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of people that would take money over being a vessel, having to live as a homeless person. But all of the issues of today would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Except you would be homeless and nobody would like you. Nobody was willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather have the money. Why?
Is it an addiction?
And to me, that's what we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if you, like all these rap singers and different things like that, you know, come out talking about how they have to do certain songs and things like that to actually make any money. Because if they do something outside of that, they're not really going to make anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of using their ability, their gift to help the people, they feed into the negative stuff. That, to me, is selling your soul.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in a position to be able to influence masses, and you would rather go with the flow or do what others do than helping solve the issues, that's where the problems come in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm not a big fan of money. I'm really not. I'm grateful for what we have, to be able to have a roof over my kids and my wife and my family. And we always have enough for food and to get by. The only issue we've ever had is dealing with the insurance companies, health insurance companies, and the hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to pay that $500, you know, for that saline bag.
30 seconds.
So is it the greed virus, or is it people just accepting the silver-tongued devil's opinions?
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Navy, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
You got it right. Good morning.
Navy, let me ask you a question. Do you think I had to study? I got an A on the test today. I got a big smiley face on my test today. I got an A. I got it right. But Navy, do you think people can be or are addicted to money?
If people can or are addicted to money. That's an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
And because like automatically my brain goes to what the clinical definition of addiction is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a compulsion. It
Mm-hmm.
you know, when we're addicted to something, it plays on that out the amount of dopamine that we have on the brain is, you know, you're not able to function day to day without it. So to some degree, I could say yes, but I'm also like, are we addicted to money, or are we addicted to the access and the power that money allows us to have?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Because if I'm looking at it from that perspective, then, you know, when you have money, that comes along with a different level of access and status that I do think that we can become addicted to that. We can become addicted to the power that comes along with that, because if we're bringing in 1.2 billion, well, 1.2 million a year versus 60,000 a year, you're going to have a whole lot more access and things to get into, and things that's going to bring you pleasure to play off of that clinical definition of addiction, more so than you would at a $60,000 salary.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we become addicted to the power and the access that money gives us, more so than the money itself, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And Public Citizen, what Paul says, let me read this here. He says, if anyone is having trouble with their money addiction, I can help. Just donate it to me. Okay, Paul, we got you, brother. Captain, talk to me. What's on your heart? Captain, you there? Yes, sir. It's a little muffled, but we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better. There you go.
What was the question?
We still talking about addiction, being addicted to money, and what Navy just brought into that. She says it's not necessarily that you're addicted to the money, but you're addicted to the power that goes along with having the money. Would you agree with that, or how would you take that?
I mean, we just keep saying the same thing. I mean, it's very difficult. I mean, everyone, you know, I like what everybody's saying.
Mm-hmm.
In terms, people don't save money; people spend money. That's the purpose of getting money. It's not to hoard it. I mean, there may be people that hoard money, but most people get money to spend it. I don't think they may have an addiction to money. They may have an addiction to spending. You know, you just gotta just buy everything you can buy. But
he said, give it away.
I think it's very it's a resource. It's a resource that we all use to acquire a certain level of comfort. Rather you use money to buy drugs. But if you say you have an addiction, I like what Brother Leonard was saying. I think I had a certain mind when he spoke, that you're not addicted to the drugs. You're not addicted to the drug. You're addicted to what the drug gives you. So we kind of get it kind of twisted. You're not addicted. Man, he's addicted to drugs. No, he's addicted to getting high. Drugs, he smoke up the drugs and eat the drugs. It's what the drugs give me. Well, what does it get? It gives me a euphoria. It gives me a high. That's what I'm addicted to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm addicted to going to a place that takes me away from my misery, takes me away from my stress, takes me away. That's what I'm addicted to. The drugs is the means by which I get there. Same with money. The money is the means by which I get to a place. So we keep saying, are we addicted to money? No. We're addicted to wherever we desire that money brings us. You know, if I'm addicted to women, you know, some men just love to go out there on the track. They know they just can't get it for free. They know money is the means by which I can get that sex. But I'm not addicted to money. I'm addicted to sex. Mm-hmm. Money is the means. So I think we need to be clear that all it does, it makes you have the means by which gives you a certain level of comfort. And that's all I got to say about
mm-hmm. that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times people say that that they want to do the alcohol, the drugs, or whatever because they want to take them away from the problems and situations that they're in at that particular time in their life. But what they need to understand, that's always a round trip ticket. It's not a one-way ticket; it's a round trip ticket. Because
the alcoholic, the person that's addicted to alcohol,
mm-hmm.
they're not addicted to alcohol. They're addicted to being able to, again, the desire effect.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Alcohol is by which we get, I think those who are dealing counselors who are on this line, you know, who do counsel people who have addiction, they have to get to the root of the addiction.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't with me, get it. If a woman sells her body and she don't have no money, so her money, her body becomes the means of exchange. I give you, I open up my legs to you because what you're going to give me in return is money that would allow me to be able to go get high, pay my rent, take care of my light bill. So it's a means.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear you, Raheem. I don't know why you got on this subject, but I'm sure you had a reason.
Okay, no, well, actually, we opened. This is Way Out Wednesday. We just opened up. I went around to everybody to say what they want to say. And this is one of the topics. I think Badger. I think he brought this one to the forefront. And so we just jumped around. We're going to jump around again and go to somebody else and let them say what they want to talk about on this Way Out Wednesday. But like I was saying earlier, it's always it's a round trip ticket. You know, you can do the drugs and alcohol and stuff like that to get away from the problem that you're having at that moment or conditions in your life. But because it's a round trip ticket, once that high or that drunk or whatever it is wear off, you still got to deal with the issue. It's not a one-way trip where you can go over there, get dropped off, and not have to deal with what the reality of life is. You still got to deal with it in some way. And a lot of times people find different ways of doing it. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there?
Well, yeah, I'm ready and I agree, but I'm still going to stand on the fact that, like, addiction is not a one-pronged situation.
Mm-hmm.
It is a two to three-pronged situation. Addiction is psychological as well as physical, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you really dig deep into it, like I've had the pleasure of working for former dope fiends, crack addicts, sex addicts, who did exactly what we're talking about. They use sex to get money, you know, and this, that, and the third, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all at the same time, once they have been, they had been, I hate to say relieved of their addiction to the drug or to the alcohol, they still had this or still displayed this behavior, this addictive behavior to get money. I got a homeboy right now. My homeboy that just came home off the 37, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he went to prison, he went to prison with a 4-gram raw dope habit a day. Now, for those that don't know nothing about heroin is probably, we think crack is bad. Heroin is probably one of the worst habits you can have because it alters the body's, all drugs alter, addictions alter the body's chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
When Navy was talking about the release of the endorphins in the brain, yes, that is altering the chemical balance of the brain and the body, right? So he went to prison with a 4-gram raw dope habit. That's a serious habit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's raw dope. Dope can be stepped on 181 times before it's even put on the street. That's how potent it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he uptown off for 37 years. He not shooting powder no more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he still has this need to get this money. So now his whole life is centered around getting money legally.
30 seconds.
You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's all his life is. So it's like, yo, what are you doing to enjoy this? I don't have any plans to enjoy nothing, man. I'm just trying to get this money. I'm just trying to get this money. I'm just trying to get this money.
Mm-hmm.
You understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it is not only psychological, it's physical.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go back to Navy. Navy, this is Way Out Wednesday. So whatever you want to talk about, whatever topic you have, what's on your heart today?
You kind of caught me off guard with that one. I don't know. I'm just taking in the conversation that we're having right now. I'm just trying to make it to 5 o'clock, to be honest with you.
Okay. There you have it. Toy, you want to see what topic you want to deal with this morning?
Oh, well, you know what? I was out last week. I don't know.
No.
Talked about the abortion time?
Yes.
Already?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We did. But what's on your heart? If that's what you want to talk about, what's on your heart? This is Way Out Wednesday.
Well, okay, well, yeah, I don't want to, talk about something we just talked about. But if everybody cool with that, I feel like if we're going to do this overturn with that, and I'm not for abortion now, but I do believe that people should have a choice and an option, right? And I agree that if the baby's more than 5 months, we don't need to be ripping arms apart. You know what I'm saying? I mean, gee whiz, once you start forming arms and stuff, it's an issue. But I think now we also need to talk about the death penalty, because if I can't take my child's life, you can't take nobody's child's life. Who you think you are? I don't care if they do commit murder. The goal is we're trying to stop faking lives, right? And then also with the police officers unarmed shooting. So that means that's a no-go no more with the Roe versus Wade overturning. Because we're talking about preserving life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if that's what we're talking about, then that means that this overturn means that we're going to crack down on death sentences, because we know that people have went to death sentences being innocent, especially black ones. And then we also know that it's a lot of black people. Yeah, you're right. Some white people are getting killed by other white people, but heck, that's what they do. But now, if if an officer hurts an unarmed person, then I believe it needs to be looked at just as illegal as me making the decision and a doctor making the decision to remove a baby.
Wow. Let me go to Badger. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me about what Toya's talking about with the abortion situation and the preserving of life.
Oh God, you want to talk about the abortion stuff? Oh man, it's messed up. I brought up the situation that happened in Ohio. Where the 10-year-old was raped and stuff, and they denied it because there was a heartbeat, so she had to go to another state. I think there are situations that they should have the choice because it's their relationship with God, their choice, their interaction. It's their body. I think males should keep their opinions out of it. I've seen too much of the corrupt white mentality of how women should be treated, and I don't care for it. Women are too powerful, and
Wow. Okay, hold on, hold right there, Leonard.
Yes, sir.
There you go. They're talking about and it's been in the discussion that if a woman has an abortion after a certain amount of time, that they can lock her up. And I know Texas was talking about this, locking her up, locking every people that did it up. If you had any assistance in getting her there, talking about locking you up or finding you $10,000 or more. Leonard, are they going overboard, brother?
I'm against all of that you just said. Period. These people crazy, man. They're just freaking crazy. And they want to impose their own personal beliefs on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be nice about it. To hell with them people.
Hey,
folks need to fight for the least amount of oppression possible. Anything that why am I imposing myself on other people this way? Truly, people should ask themselves that. What business of it is of yours? What another woman does with her body.
Let me stop your time for a second. Now, and the majority of the people that's quote unquote making these decisions are the people that's outside of the age of either making or having a baby.
Well,
meaning Congress and all the people, because a lot of people like 60, 70 years old, man, they ain't making no babies, man.
No, exactly, but they ain't mean they if they wanted to, they could. But I mean, even, it doesn't
I mean, they're paying them prostitutes, ain't they?
I mean, it doesn't. All the abortions they don't pay for.
Wow.
Come on, man. This is so crazy to me because some people can't sort through the madness. Ask yourself, why is it so important that you impose your beliefs on other people? You should ask yourself that, because that's the real sickness. Whether you white or whether you black. And when you put these type of crazy people in power, you're going to get these types of crazy things going on. And that don't make no sense. That impose on the masses of people. You know, that's what's the bigger issue to me, you know, because these people have always been out there and you give them too much leeway. You need to get in their way and stop them from getting in positions of power. All black people that talk about white people doing, are you at the polls voting against them? Where are you at? If you have such a problem with certain things, it seems like you would be down there at the polls. Instead of just running your mouth about it all the time.
30 seconds left.
Good to see the federal government stand up and start suing these states that are trying to impose themselves on other people. So that's a good, you know, a hand clap for the Department of Justice that they start fighting on behalf of the people's choices, as opposed to all this other, you know, religious things and of that nature. Because, you know, there's a lot of people, black people included, that need to be, you know, kicked to the curb because of their beliefs when it comes to separation of church and state.
Let me do this. I'm gonna read what Paul said, publicism, what Paul said. I think this is based on something that Badger said. He said, did he say corrupt white mentality?
Right.
And he
yes, I did.
And he asked the question, what does white have to do with it? What does white have to do with it? That's Paul talking. And Let me go. Not yet. Let me circle back around. We got people that's waiting. I think he know your answer already anyway. But Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Ooh, man, I was walking. And what's going on, man? I almost bumped into a car.
Good Lord.
I fell asleep. I was falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. We don't talk about China. We don't talk about Trump again. Oh, we don't talk about abortion again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Way out Wednesday, brother. Walk with me.
I got something on my mind. You see, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see. We got 50 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
We got 50 minutes left to get way out. Guess what? Here it comes. Our sisters gonna laugh when TD Jakes died like they laughed at Kevin Samuels. We could go from now. I just want to know. Because I heard what TD Jakes said.
Yeah.
I ain't see nothing wrong with it. But now, TD Jakes, he's been held in high esteem. He's been looked at very favorable as a man that other men should look up and want to be like. Now, all of a sudden, they're ready to counsel him. He done spoke up and told some truth. And I want to know now if he counseled or disqualified. Because they mad.
Mm-hmm.
They hot. And I wonder how many simp men gonna come around and say he was wrong. Because there's gonna be some people gonna agree with the women. Even though TD Jakes is who he is, and don't get me wrong, ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody ever, I ain't gonna say ain't nobody ever wrong. But I'm just trying to get a little way out because, you know what I'm saying, that's like a hot topic right now. And if we ain't careful, we'll be talking about it 3 weeks from now when everybody done forgot about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
TD Jakes made him mad, y'all. And now he ain't worth 2 cents. His word ain't worth no good. They ready to they ready to chastise
TD Jakes.
TD Jakes
Mm-hmm.
for speaking the truth, for holding people accountable, and just saying, look, we all need to change. See, it was cool. It's cool for us to, hey, he needs to talk to y'all men. Y'all need to listen to TD Jakes. That man telling y'all the truth. Y'all need somebody to raise y'all up. What's wrong with these young men? Okay, well, now you don't say nothing to us. You don't tell us. I just want to know if they going to laugh. Are they going to laugh when TD Jakes die like they laughed at Kevin Samuels, Biblical Fox, and all them Jezebels?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Now you ain't going to call the women Jezebels, are you?
Oh, you know what she is.
Let me go to one of the young ladies. As a matter of fact, Navy, what's on your heart?
I don't know what TD Jakes said, so I can't really answer the question. But I mean,
Clarify.
What did you say? Let me catch up from that.
Rico?
It's a short clip. I can send it to you. You can play it so you can hear it better. Hear it from the horse's mouth. It don't take but maybe about 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Send it to
no
me.
more than a minute.
Okay.
Okay, do that then, because I'm cool with it. But laughing at anybody's death doesn't prosper me anything. So I mean, I'm gonna say no to the laughing at anybody's death, but I would like to hear what TD Jakes said though.
Okay, good deal. Toya with a T. Did you hear it?
No, I missed all. I didn't hear anyone laughing about
No,
Kevin Samuels. I'm lost on that.
No, did you hear what TD Jakes said
about Kevin Samuels? No.
No.
I didn't hear any of that.
No, he was.
TD Jakes said about what?
Rico, go ahead. Just tell him, Rico, because we hadn't got the clip yet.
TD Jakes was talking about the part that women play in tearing up the family. You remember a couple of weeks ago, and it was like men come back home, and we had that discussion, and Raheem said, well, what about the women? Well, this is what he did. He finally addressed the women's part, and they hot. He didn't say nothing out the way. He just really told the truth about the part that women play today and what's going on.
Basically, in a nutshell, what is it? What is it that we do? The nagging, the pushing you away, the not having your back. It's a lot of things I feel like we do as women that I'm like, it's a part of culture. And I
Well,
found
you know,
myself correcting
you might-
women saying,
you might
do you
want-
think you're supposed to be like that? But I don't know what specifically he said. What is it that we do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna send it so you can hear it and then you can respond, because it would be unnecessary to respond if you don't know exactly what he said. So I'm fixing to send it to Raheem and he can put it up there, because they don't last but like a minute.
Mm-hmm. While he's doing that, let me go to Cap. Cap, what's on your heart? Cap, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm like with Brother Rico. I heard T.D. Jakes. They was all on the social media, and I didn't know that he was catching the blues. But I think you have to be very careful when you assign women to a certain place in a position. You know, I said several times, and you probably heard me say it, that the home is the woman's base, but not necessarily her place.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put it in context. I think sometimes spiritual man goes straight to the scripture, and he assigns women based upon their role in the scripture. Well, I mean, that was a certain time in history that I think it was part of the cultural upbringing of what men feel women are obligated to do. We have brilliant women today. They are over every facet of technology, every facet of every social endeavor, and they're most certainly brilliant. The sad part is that we as men, most of us, not all, don't know how to tap into that brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
And because we don't know how to tap into the brilliance of a woman, some men, we become intimidated, and it's easy to say you're supposed to be barefoot, pregnant, naked, and in the kitchen. But I think we have failed to understand there has been a cabal to break up Black families. And the best way to break up the Black family is to take away the woman who takes care of the home and make the home a place of peace and tranquility. So I'm one who believes that a woman should never be assigned to any certain position. She is the second self of God.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the Honorable Minister on these words week. The only government for me is only and I man.
Hey, you're breaking up. Hey, Captain, you're breaking up real bad, Captain. You're breaking up real bad there.
Oh,
yeah, you're breaking
up.
Oh,
was I breaking up really bad?
Yes, sir.
I was just hopefully saying that our women is, the message said that the woman is man's heaven. That's our only heaven. Mm-hmm. That's a heck of a thing to say she's our only heaven, because if God made her our heaven, then the only way that we will be able to get any kind of peace is that we recognize her. And Lord, if you got the right woman, and she's beautiful, and she's accommodating, and she's brilliant, and she's able to bring to you a certain level of peace, then I don't know nothing else to strive for. Mm-hmm. But if you don't want her, she is the second self of God. Mm-hmm. She is co-creator of God. God used her to bring life into existence. So the scriptures say, honor her, respect her. And if we learn to do that, and our sisters got to learn to stop devaluing themselves. They're not boobs, butts, hips, and behind. She's greater than boobs, butts, and hips. Mm-hmm. You know, but if that's all we see demonstrating on the social media, then we're looking at her and putting a value on her from the outside and never see the value of her inside. And that's unfortunate, because she's a diamond. Yes. And if we go digging into her, we would get all the riches of life. Mm-hmm. So I don't think no man has the right to assign a woman to her. That's God's right. We don't have that right. And whatever God wants that woman to excel to, stay out of that. Mm-hmm. And thank God that we got enough sense to recognize her value.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I hope you heard that part.
Yes, sir. We certainly did. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. I'm about to play this clip. And it's hopefully in the first couple of minutes, it'll tell us exactly what it is that we're looking for. But here we go. Let's get this played real quickly. Open it up here. Bling, boom, boom. Okay. And go here.
This breaks all sociological orders of the culture we're living in now. Because we're raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house, but until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning.
Oh man, so that clip is going viral and I'm embarrassed.
Okay. There it is, ladies. There it is. Let me go. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you, Brian.
Okay. Good deal. So let me go back to Neighbor. Now that you've heard the clip, what's on your heart?
I was actually reading the article that went along with that as well while we were waiting on the clip. And reading the article does provide a little bit more context than that clip, because that clip alone, I was just like, okay, well, all right there, Pastor Tate. However, and I know I have a different perspective. I'm not married or anything like that. However, like the order of the house was supposed to be God, husband, wife, kids, yada yada yada. But what he was saying in this article that came after that was that men are to pour into women for the most part, but women have the part that he says about we're raising women as men. Also, he gave some context to that, because what he said was that you become this way basically because we played a part in that as well. We caught out of the pain that we hurt you and betrayed you and lied to you and cheated on you and yada yada yada, all that good stuff. And I just think honestly, like, I don't know. I'm trying not to get in my feelings about it. I'm not necessarily disagreeing, but I'm not agreeing with what he said either, because again, I'm providing a different perspective. But yeah, kind of don't put me in that position to have to be the man. That's the only thing that I have to it. And I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes whenever I say that. But yeah, I can't. I need a little bit more time to digest this. So.
Okay. Was he fair?
Given all the context, there was just accountability on both sides. And because I feel like that part, yes. When we look at all of it, if we go through the entire sermon, and just like I said, I just got a snippet from reading the article, like there's accountability on both sides. I do agree with that, because although women have had to step into more male roles because of men not being in the home, and that's not to say that men are. I'm not trying to bash anybody whenever I say that, and men are requiring women have certain things, like we want you to have your own money, because then you're looked at as a gold digger. And when we get our own money, it's just like, that's too much. Like you're supposed to like you're too much for me. And I'm just like, well, dang, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to have my own money? Am I supposed to be stay-at-home mom? Like, what am I supposed to do? Because if I forge forward with my own path, then for some men, let me say, for some men, that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
But as I consider myself an alpha female, that does not mean that I don't know how to let a man lead me. But I'm not going to, I can't if you don't know where you're going, then how are you supposed to know where we're going?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a two-way street for the both of us. So I don't know. I have to listen to the entire clip to just really get everything together.
Good deal. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T. What's on your heart? Heard the clip, man. Heard what he said. What do you think about it? What's on your heart?
Yep. Okay, move your feet out the way. Because if you told you stepped on, I'm kill us. Me and the bishop need to have conversations. A lot of things that he said, and I ain't gonna do like we do when we talk about Black Lives Matter, how they do, oh yeah, but what about this? We're talking strictly about the women right now.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have that personality that he expressed? Yes. And there are reasons why we do it that stem from outside forces. However, I appreciate the fact he said we.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a woman, we can only be a man if it ain't one there. And if you're sitting right there next to me and you say that I'm being a man, then that's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a woman that was raised by her father, that's what he explained to me. I can't teach you how to be a woman, but I can teach you how to be a woman that a man wants. And he taught me both sides of the coin, truthfully. He didn't hold no blows. He didn't pull no punches. He didn't tell me what I couldn't do just because I was his baby girl. He taught me 100% real, even down to the point to where when you get a husband, yes, you got to have sex with them. You can't hold that from them. But he taught me also the role of a man. And when I see the role of a man and when I'm around the role of a man, let me tell you something. I ain't got no choice when I get around a man. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
We're not hearing that. When you are around a man, a woman, you don't have no choice because it's a natural thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this difference, the other side of y'all, you have to be a man first. And when you do that, walk like that, I'm telling you, because I done been around some thorough men.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you my spirit, certain things I already know not gonna work, period. Because he's a real man. Certain things I just know I just can't get beside myself and do because I know I'm dealing with a real one. And a lot of the other guys I've been around with, I know they weak. I know they weak for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a twofold, and it's like a kid. A kid is out of control because the parents are not in control. It is the same way with a woman. So a lot of the things he's saying true about us. Yes, they are. We are nasty. We don't know how to stay in our place. We don't know how to let them lead. We do talk too much at times.
Wow.
We do get out of pocket, and we know we do. But it's because our parents raised us like this. Daddies too.
Mm-hmm.
Daddies too. Y'all raise y'all girls all the time. Don't be taking this from no man. Don't be doing that from no man. Don't be doing that to third. They don't be real.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get out here with these men, we so used to be catered to by daddy. We trying to make him be daddy and husband, and you can't do that. And then fathers still don't know how to get out the way, even when it comes to you gonna choose me or him?
Mm-hmm.
Who you think she's supposed to choose?
Mm-hmm.
So whether you're coming from a single parent household, we teach our kids, our girls and our boys to be selfish and don't comply to the other person, and you know they are having sex with them. And when you come from a dual household, having both parents, they'll teach you the same thing. So how are we supposed to learn the difference when everybody's playing games and lying about the true roles we're supposed to be playing?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Paul, a public citizen, said that one thing I would like to say, it's always a bad idea to say some men are not real men. It may be true, but those are some harsh words, is what he said. Let me go around. We got quite a few. Fellas, y'all hold fast for a second. I want to talk to the ladies specifically. Then I'm gonna make my way back around to the fellas, to the brothers. So we got let's go to Mary. Mary, what's on your heart about that clip that you just heard? Can you comment on that?
I can. I don't even say.
You ain't gonna say nothing?
I've not been around that many rooms that have anything to say about that clip.
Okay. Let me go to Willa. What do you think about?
Good morning, Rocky. Good morning. Good morning, Morning Glow.
Good morning to you, sis. What do you think about TDJ? He said, he said y'all are wrong. He said y'all are wrong. Y'all are being raised to be men, and he said all kind of things. So, What did your take on what he said? Was he right, wrong? Was he fair? What do you get from that?
You know, what I'm going to say is this, is that what he said was true in so many cases, but it's just like anything when a minister or anybody get up to say something, if it don't fit, then don't wear it. The only ones that are mad are the ones that he's talking to, because of the fact that you see that we say it all the time, Raheem, how there are so many men missing in the household, and even when there are some men in the household, I like the ones that know that they are a man. They're confident about who they are. They ain't got to worry about whether somebody needs to define who they are as a man. If you're a man, you don't have to worry about somebody defining you as that. So if you're mad, are you mad because he's talking about you? I'm just saying what I'm saying. Look at all these young men out there raising themselves and being raised by a woman. That's what he's saying. Our men need to step up. And like I said again, if I'm not talking, don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying what I'm saying. It's being shown out there.
Wow.
Where our young men are raising themselves out there. And they don't even know what it is to be a man. So, yeah, Raheem, I'm you know, people may not agree with that, but yeah. If they're not talking to you, then don't get mad about it. Do something about it to those who he is talking about.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good. Hold on, Kurt. I'm going to the ladies. I'm gonna come to the brothers in a minute. Yeah, hold on. We got Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? You heard what TJ said. He said y'all are wrong, man. He said we're raising our women to be men, and y'all act like y'all don't have any place for a man. And he put a lot out there. Cassandra, what's on your heart? And good morning to you.
Good morning. I don't. I don't. Because I'm trying to make sure I say it right and go. You know.
This way out Wednesday, Cassandra.
I don't know.
This way out Wednesday.
Yeah. I think that the sister Willa was spot on, and then the sister before, who was that?
Toya with a T. One of Toya?
Willa.
Yeah.
Not Toya. Toya was right. But the sister that was before Toya, she really nailed it. You know, I don't want to, women,
that was Navy.
Most women don't want to take the lead. They don't want to, and then you call it masculine if we're trying to take care of our children on our own, pay all of our bills on our own, you know, have something on our own, but you don't have men that are stepping up. Not all men, please. And I'm like Willa, if I'm not talking to you, please just bypass everything I'm saying. I'm talking about the ones that don't do it. And Willa is right. We have all these single parent households, and you know I've dealt with that over 35 years. Single women don't want to be single, but the men have the babies and they can pick up and go, but the woman is there and she has to take care of her children. So you mad at me because I'm being an independent woman and I don't want to necessarily be single and independent. Then I'm trying to be, she too much. She's just like the sister said. But all we want is to have somebody. Listen, God is my witness, man, and I mean it with every fiber of my being. I have never wanted to be the head of my household, never. But I was placed in that position because of men that wanted to run the street, go cheat, do whatever they wanted to do. And I have to make sure that the house is running the way it needs to. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. And like Willa said, I'm not talking to you. If you don't do that, if you there for your family and you in the household and you doing what you're supposed to do, God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
Please keep on doing that because we want more men like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Well, let me turn over to the bros now. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, you know, I was listening, but you know, I never heard anything he said wrong with it or anything like that. You can't cancel. You simply can't cancel good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely can't cancel advice inspired by a love for something that God designed.
Mm-hmm.
So all that mess about what TD Jake said, man, ain't said, man, what that man said lasted how long? By what, 2 minutes? If it lasted 2 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Really? 2 minutes. He spoke 2 minutes. And y'all tearing y'all clothes off because what he said. Who looked like the fools?
Wow.
Who look like the fools? The only people that ought to be concerned is people who ain't getting what they want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can be as mad as you want at an answer or a fact. You can be as mad as you want. I mean, is it something
So,
that
Leonard, what you're saying is he was not wrong.
No, why would he be? He may have been wrong for some people or what have you. Some people don't like him, but like I say, I don't listen to nothing nobody outside the church say about nobody inside the church in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because your mouth just moved. You ain't never been on God's plan, no way. So I don't expect you to be able to hear the wisdom in what the man said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's for he who has an ear, let him hear. Now you can like Captain Dennis can attest to. You ain't got to love him, you ain't got to like the minister and what he say, but you better heed the words of the prophet at some point. At some point.
Mm-hmm.
If not, go your way and see how that work out for you. But that's the problem with certain people. All you got is problems when you sit down at the table. So you should be looking for solutions to your problems. Not sitting trying to justify what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you the one hurting. You the one need to be healed. If you the one hurt. We talking and these weak men who need somebody to lay down so they can take control, you not worth it. I'm so sick of Negroes that suffer from poor management skills and leadership principles. It's ridiculous. You act like getting a woman is such a hard thing to do. It's not.
No.
It's not.
15 seconds.
And it ain't nobody else's fault that your family's toe up but you.
Mm-hmm.
You present any rational, reasonable woman with a good reason to follow you, and she usually will.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she wound up somewhere wondering what she gonna do about this unwanted pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's the position you've put her in.
Exactly. Hold right there, Leonard. Hold right there. Let me keep this thing going. Rico, you've been waiting for a minute, brother. What's on your heart?
Man, I could go ahead and talk, man. I was just ready to get on the screen with you, man. But listen, we had a topic last night. And you asked, do men feel needed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So now, everybody ignored every single thing TDJ said and put their own spin on it. This man said that society has conformed and made a woman to where they want to be men. That means men and women, society. That means the environment, the atmosphere that exists today, and the people that contribute to it has created an atmosphere where women are now wanting to be men. Now, I agree with Willa. When she said it, I was about to jump through the phone. If the shoe don't fit, don't put it on and tie knots on it so it can flop around on your foot.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on the foot that it's supposed to belong on. He said those women wanted to be tough. They were mean, nasty, and sassy, along with being on the corporate ladder. He said those specific words. He didn't say they need to be backward and pregnant. He didn't say that, you know what I'm saying, it was, he said they were mean, nasty, sassy, and wanted to be tough. Their society would turn them into men. And then he said, even though you're making this money and you're doing good and you don't made it to success, I don't need you coming back telling me because you accomplished these things that you don't need me. And now we're up here talking about the men feeling some type of way. The men shouldn't feel no type of way about that. That was the voice of a man telling a woman, stop being nasty. And there ain't a woman on here yet. Even though that shoe might not fit, I guarantee y'all know something like that. But how can that ever be fixed if it ain't never acknowledged or they ain't never held accountable? It's denied that it exists because it wouldn't even accept it. Leonard hit on it a little bit. But for the most part, people found something wrong with what he said. But he was talking about those women, Raheem, you wrong. You low down for that. I ain't gonna say you did it on purpose. I'm gonna just say it for theatrical reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That man didn't say they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He said what he said. You said he said they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He said the women that want to be men that act tough and act all mean, nasty, and sassy. Them the ones he talking about. He ain't talking about all women.
Mm-hmm.
He
15
ain't
seconds.
talking about all men. He's talking about those. That's why if that shoe don't fit, then you must have quit. Don't even put it on. Leave it for the person that it do fit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we got to make sure that number one, that we address and don't flip the narrative of what he was speaking of.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, once again, it sort of goes back to the question you asked last night. Are black men needed?
Mm-hmm.
For you to even ask that question, look, I just saw that clip this morning, and he came right back out his mouth with, don't come and tell me you don't need me because you have achieved these man-made goals.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you're hollering about a family. There's a lot of single women right now.
Exactly.
Looking for a man.
Good. Hold right
and
there.
They might need to sit back and think about that
Mm-hmm.
he said, because that might be holding them back. And ain't nobody telling them or holding them accountable.
Exactly.
They're flipping it around to the men and making it, they made the women have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, it's a lot of layers on this thing. I know Curtis was jumping out the bed. He wanted to say something as well.
So am I.
I know you're there, Badger. I know you're there. Curtis, what's on your heart? 3 minutes.
If the shoe don't fit it, then you will be acquitted.
This is joking.
You know, man, why does it seem like in the society for which we in, nobody wants to be held accountable for the parts that they play? There's a part in this society that we as men have definitely played in the hands of those who are playing psychological warfare. That is obvious, it's evident. I'll go back to this, and I'll only go back to it because it's the perfect reference. If you go back and read the Willie Lynch letter, it tells you exactly what we are seeing today and what we have gone through and what we will be going through. The good thing is we are breaking the chains. The greatest thing that happened to the black community, in my opinion, was Barack Obama becoming president, because it changed the narrative that the American man can be a good father. The narrative that was put out for years was none of us was good fathers. Now, to just answer men and women, the truth be told, every female on this panel are women. They are women in their moves, their mindset, their ability to gain, and any man can look clear at Cassandra, Navy, Toya, and all of those and know that if I pour into her, she will increase, she will birth everything that I could possibly need, want, and get. The problem in our society is you got a bunch of kids. We're looking at society and valuing the society that is put forward and speaking on the society put forward from the ideology of children. And we're saying this is all of us. It's not all of us. I'm talking to a brother right now that by far, I can say it personally, is the greatest father I have ever seen in my life. His name is Raheem Ajame.
Wow.
The greatest father I have ever seen in my life. The carbon copy example of father is supposed to be. So are we to say that Raheem falls in that category? Cassandra, one of the greatest female parents I've ever seen, I've ever heard. So am I to say that Cassandra falls into the category of what we think women are? Y'all, please pay attention to the narratives. Now, in closing, here's what it is. The truth always hurts when you're forced to look at your own.
Mm-hmm.
It always hurts. And the ones that hurt the most are the ones that scream and foul. Some of these celebrities, these female celebrities we hear speaking out on it, do the research on them. Do the research.
Exactly. Got to keep it moving, Curtis. Hold 1 second, brother. Finish your thought.
I just landed my plane, brother.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Let's keep this thing going. Badger, go ahead, brother. I know you got something on your heart.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are good men and there are good women. Just straight up. They exist. But in our current society, we're fighting a mentality of women are property. And the good men know better. The real men know better. But unfortunately, due to music, media, social media, and everything else, women can make a fortune selling their bodies.
Wow.
Because it's just all kinds of insane reasons. Like how many married men, get on certain types of websites or support OnlyFans? Why ain't they happy with what they got? Why ain't they uplifting them? So I have seen more toxic males than I have females, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them live by that mentality. Women's place is at home. They are to obey what I say. So after hundreds, thousands of years of women being treated like that, why would they want a man to begin with?
Mm.
If they run such a high risk in running across one of those types. Those types greatly outnumber us good ones. Ones that want to be supportive, let them know they have a voice, let them know that they need to be listened to and everything else. No. Our country's ran by those men that would rather take their rights away and everything else. So how are they actually supposed to think? Honestly. This is 2022, and women are still having to fight for their rights. Still. So what are they supposed to think? And when you turn on social media and everything else, there's half-naked women everywhere. All the music videos. So, socially, like, man, we even had the topic about Turk twerking, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. 30 seconds. Mm-hmm.
So, it's... what have we as a society have allowed to happen today? Why is it the way it is today? It's a toxic teaching that has hurt women. And us good men need to work hard to undo that teaching. So we need to be teaching our sons and our grandsons how women should be treated.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Captain. Captain, tell us what's on your heart, brother. We talking about this whole situation with this, and we talking about how the whole structure has changed, and a lot of the roles have changed. Is that a good or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, no question. Change is good, but remember now, all change is not growth, and all growth is change. Have we grown? Ain't how we changed. Have we grown? I love what everybody said. I wish I would have heard the clip before my comment, because now I have a different opinion on what T.D. Jakes said. I mean, there is no question when you look at what he said. I, as a man, I'm thinking he's talking about society and put our women in that position. Now, I think us in lack of men, our responsibility, have put our women in that position.
Mm-hmm.
I think T.D. Jakes would have did a great job in talking to us. I think that he was to flip the script and say, brothers, look how we allow this society to take our women and shape them in the way that they have to be men. We have failed in our responsibility to win our women over and not give them over to the society which we believe the white man.
Mm-hmm.
We have not fought to keep our women to ourselves. Matter of fact, we have relinquished many men our role as men when we send our women to get on welfare, when we send our women to get food stamps, when we send our women to get Section 8. That means that we have put her into a position that we cannot act like we are a man of authority when we give up our authority.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it goes both ways. And I like what Brother Leonard said. I like what Curtis said. I like most certainly what Rico said. Rico gave a clear picture of what the man was saying. But if the shoe fit, I like that. Wear it.
Mm-hmm.
We should put the shoe in the middle of the floor and try it on. What's wrong with trying it on?
Mm-hmm.
And if it fits, wear it. But it goes both ways. We're not going to talk about how our women, our men start acting like women. What about the feminine side of men who are all the time trying to run from their responsibility? So I think I like this dialogue, but I think we all need to sit down and wonder why our women act like men. Is it because we have failed as men to be able to show our women we are men? So I believe it goes both ways. I like what T.D. Jakes said. I think he was talking about society, but I do believe society is who is society? That's our women. Every man, the Italians is not having their women saying that. Mm-hmm. You don't see the Jewish women saying that. Why is it our women?
Yeah.
You know, hey, I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was good that this dialogue, I mean, I love it. I really do.
Good.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to comment on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna play this other commercial. Then we're gonna come back. We're gonna go to the ladies and find out where their heart is right now, because I definitely want to hear that as well. So let's pay attention to this commercial, and then we'll be right back.
This is 3-Minute Marketing. It is a great advertising opportunity for you and your business. We will tell your story from start to finish. We promise a professional result every time. Just watch the money roll in. The world is yours. Please don't let your clients pass by. We will tell them all about you and you can close the deal. I knew you could do it. Now, let's get started. Contact dkmmediagroup1@gmail.com today.
Good deal. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I still say, we are put in a position and then we're beaten down and talked about because we do what we have to do to take care of ourselves and take care of our families. A lot of men are not interested in getting married nowadays because why should they?
Hey, Cassandra,
they get everything that they want.
Hey, Cassandra, let me stop your time. Let me stop your time for one second. You said something I want to, for clarity of the listeners, and I'm certainly not beating you up on this, but I want to, for clarity of the listeners, I want to ask you this question. You say we're put in a position. We're put in a position. Now, were you put in a position, or was a choice made to be in that position?
No. Well, let me put it like this. With all of the women from different backgrounds that I deal with, I'm talking about hood chicks, all the way up to corporate women with 6 figures and more money. They do not, I'll say 98% of them do not want to be on their own, independent, doing what they doing without a man present. But finding someone or having someone find them. See, first of all, a lot of men aren't even looking. And we can throw it at the women all you want to, but the truth is the truth. You can look at statistics. No, don't do that. Look at your friends. How many of them went heading to the altar quickly? How many of them, the average woman now, they've been with that man 8, 10, some of them 15 years. I just had somebody get married. I married them. They were together 12 years before he even asked her. See, I ain't good at this one because anything I say is going to be, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. She's that kind of woman. She just want to be the boss. Nope. I've never been that type of woman. I love marriage. I love relationships. And the only reason I had to do what I did, working in corporate, teaching school, whatever I was doing, is because of the absence of a man in my life. The absence of a man. I'll sit home. I ain't got no problem with it. I'll sit home, cook, clean, do whatever needs to be done to make you happy. But unfortunately, we don't have that opportunity. Most of us, 98% of us, do not have that opportunity.
Wow. Okay. Willow, what's on your heart?
I totally agree with what Cassandra just said. And I think Leonard said how easy it is to find a woman nowadays. And it's true, you can find a woman, but what kind of woman are you looking for? Because of society, the way society has pushed some women to be even more, should I say, strong-minded than some men. So, it's just the way the world is, the direction. That's the way the world is going now, right here. It's sad. It is really sad. Because I look at our culture and I see how our young people are leaving here. That's the next generation. I look at what kind of generation are we going to have as a culture. I work at the ballpark and I work at just a simple nacho car. And I see the difference, I'm telling you, between our culture and other cultures. And I tell you, Raheem, it's sad for me to say, I hate sometimes when some of our culture comes to the nacho thing. I really do.
Wow.
They want something free. How much it cost? The part $7.50. You know what I'm saying? And you at the ballpark. So I am.
Lord Jesus.
I'm just saying sometimes. These are men. And I don't say anything, it's just sad. That's what's up my heart right here. I hope everybody have a wonderful day. I'm like that. I love all y'all. And I hope that there's some inspiration and some people that are listening. Because the people on this panel are really smart. They're wise. They got a lot of wisdom. And I just thank God that He allowed me to meet you guys. I thank
Likewise.
God. I love y'all. I
love you too, sis. Absolutely.
I'd be so glad to get on this line when I can. And that's what's on my heart.
Good deal. Leonard.
Yes, sir. Oh hell, the good Bishop Gregory Adams. Hit us with it. He gonna give you what you need. Now y'all got to listen. Y'all might not like it, but heed the word of this good bishop. I'm just telling you.
Yes, ma'am.
Raheem.
Yes, ma'am.
Did Leonard just say hell? I'm sorry. He said all hell. Okay. I thought you said all hell.
Hear ye.
Okay,
Hear ye.
I'm sorry. Leonard, I'm sorry.
But y'all something else, man. Look here, a bishop. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, hell.
Y'all terrible.
Let me go ahead and say, hey, hey. Behind over there in that corner. But
this has been a great show, bro.
I appreciate it, man. To God be the glory. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Comments were made.
some clarity was been brought forth, man. Willa was, you know, she was speaking. I was listening to her. Rico came around. If it don't fit, you must have quit. That was so funny. But just tell the truth about the situation and understanding. And I've been defending Jake since the comment has been made, because he did not paint everybody into the same, put everybody into the same bucket or barrel. He didn't do it. But he made it very clear of the behaviors that women, a lot of women, not all women, but some women are displaying. And so that's what he was addressing. And I'm glad, you know, I think you and I may have alluded to this a little bit yesterday, or maybe so, but either way it goes, you know, I'm loving the point in which you're making of where the conversation is going. You know, of course, whenever Leonard says something, you know, I'm gonna be over in the same man corner cheering, because you know, he just comes from a different perspective of mindset as relates. I don't care. You know, I don't care if y'all die. You know, if you want to be like that, then go ahead. You know, that's you. But this is what I'm gonna do, and he make it plain. So that's what I love about your show, is that you allow your guests or your guest hosts to be themselves, speak up and speak their views and opinions. So, you know, I just couldn't keep just sitting here listening, man. I just wanted to call in and tell you, man, this is a great show. I really enjoyed it and love all the comments as it relates. I really do.
Good deal. Good deal. To God be the glory. Absolutely. Toya with a T. Toya with a T. Talk to me.
Absolutely a great show. You know, it's really hard to talk about women without talking about the men. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got their own thing. Yeah, if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. And even if the shoe fit, you probably need to take a second and check it out, because all these people are not saying the same thing, and it's not true. You know what I'm saying? But that clip wasn't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people fit the profile, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? Even with the men, some people fit the profile, some people don't. But at the end of the day, you need something to measure it against. You know, we're talking about being a woman and a man, but if people haven't really had a good idea, like, everybody is a male, but if you don't take care of your kids, you're not a man. If you're a woman and you don't take care of your kids, you are not a woman. You're a demon. And that's the lines we're talking about here. We're not talking about just the physical presence. We're talking about the things that you're doing. How can you be a mother, have a child, and kill it? Bake it in the oven. You know what I mean? Or how can you be a father to take your baby, or any baby for any matter, and bash it up and down on the floor until it's dead? You know what I'm saying? That's not a man. We call those monsters. You know what I'm saying? So even though a lot of people, you know, it's a sensitive topic, you know, don't nobody want the truth handed out to them. But we got to be honest in order to correct it. You know what I'm saying? We got to take all point of views and pay attention. But great show as always. I love all of y'all. And
Love
the
you
more
as well,
we keep
sis.
having these conversations, the more I know we're going to bring clarity, open up doors, and help people just be better. So I love y'all, and I thank y'all.
Good deal. Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, let me ask you this question. And for the record, sis, we love you as well. But Curtis, let me ask you this question. We're talking about if the shoe don't fit. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. Or if the shoe fit, wear it. Ain't that what we're talking about, Curtis? Curtis?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
It sounds like that's across the board.
Now, what if the shoe fit, but you got cones and bunions on your toes?
Well,
Still need a bigger size.
I got somebody popcorn and some chestnuts.
Somebody gonna keep on walking. Ow, 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 ow.
You know, some people got them cones.
Walnuts, brother.
Some folks got them cones and bunions on their toes, you know, so it's kind of hard for them to, even if the shoe is the right size, man, them cones and bunions can make a little difference. You got to put a little space in there. But go ahead, Curtis.
Well, you know, Raheem, I want to say it, man. You know, as a man dealing with what we dealing with, and this modern day age of society, me personally, I have to take a look at everything in order to just still believe in the human experience and race as a whole. I have to know the precipitating factors to all things. You know, I grew up in a household where my grandma and granddaddy were separated for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
My granddaddy never stopped taking care of his house. My granddaddy bought my grandma a house.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up every Friday on payday, you know, gave her the money that she needed to pay the bills and this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they relationship, you know, they were separated for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Still took care of his responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still took care of her responsibility without blaming anything on that man. And I found out years later, after both of them were dead, that my grandmother was just as responsible for my grandfather leaving as anybody was.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So now I'm not saying this to knock the women. Please do not misunderstand, because I'm going to be honest with you. As a man, as an upright man who stands on his angle all the time, you couldn't pay me enough money to leave here and come back as a black woman.
Mm. Wow.
I'm sorry. You could come back here as a woman, period. I've never seen a species more denigrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about the black experience, the white experience, the da-da-da experience. We have, let's just call it a state, man. We
30 seconds.
have society that treated its women.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not negate society has also on purpose mistreated its African American community and its African American men.
Absolutely.
I think I'll just land it like this. I think we so busy trying to point the finger at each other that we're not even seeing that the same denigration that comes your way comes mine.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to not to be the one who is causing that denigration. You see what I'm saying? But
exactly.
I mean, that's just how I look at it.
Good deal. Bishop, let me ask you a question before we get out of here. We're going to get out of here. It's 10 o'clock. Bishop, you there?
Yeah.
What size shoe you got to wear with them corns and bunions you got on your feet, man? What you got to go a size up or a size down? What you got to do, man?
Oh, they got them wide, so all I just have to get them wide. I don't want them too floppy in the feet.
Yeah, I got you. I just wanted to see what you had to do, brother. Because, you know, them corns and bunions, man, to make it real tough. Make it real tough on a fella. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's show and would like to see or hear the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dklmediagroup.com.
Last night and tonight, Rico, we hit a couple of home runs, didn't we?
I don't know. I'm still a little disappointed in this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I realized that, you know, it's sort of disappointing when you realize that we're still more confused about cause and effect and actually coming to solutions. And I learned today that crack ain't bad, it's just a high. And even though you might beat it and go to rehab, when you see that crack, it might not tempt you. Matter of fact, they could just legalize it because it's the high that's bad. We forget about the cause and effect. So I realize now that, you know, we'll dissect some things and to a point where we say, well, it's about the high, but it ain't the drug. But without the drug, you can't get the high. That's why the drug is illegal. I also realized that a preacher can speak from the perspective of a good man. And he can speak from the perspective of what society has created in women and acknowledge that is out of order. If society has created women to be like men and women are acting like that, it's out of order. Women are out of order. So I'm imagining a man coming to TD Jakes and saying, look, man, these are the issues I'm having. She feel like she need to be the man. And then TD Jakes coming to her and saying, well, you know what? You've been mean and nasty and you've been acting like a man. But the best way for me to help you fix that is to tell you that it is their fault. And it's their fault, the reason why you're acting like this. But how about changing that behavior when somebody tells you You're being mean and nasty. You're acting like a man. It might take other women. It might take other men, but it's going to take somebody to finally say, well, look, you are still out of order. Maybe the men did create this atmosphere, but it doesn't justify you running off a man that's good, telling him you don't need him because you have made it up that ladder.
Mm-hmm. Like we got to get out of here, man, because like I said, and we definitely we can actually start. We got another topic tomorrow. We can definitely start off by talking about this because there's a lot of different layers that was not touched. But I got to do this, man. I got to do this before we get out of here. I got to do this. Willa!
Hey, Ryan, come on, Ryan.
Willa, are you there?
Let's go.
Are you there, Willa?
Ryan, I'm here.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am, and I am ready.
You
Come
sure?
on, Ryan, let's go.
Well, Willa, you know what? You know what, Willa? Let's go.
Let's go, Raheem. Let's go. Let's go to the throne of grace this morning. Father God, we thank you, Lord, for allowing us to get up this morning. Get up to see another day, Lord, that you created. Father, I thank you for that. And Father, I'm asking that if there's been anything that we have done, anything that we said or thought that has been displeasing to you in your eyesight, Father, we're asking for your forgiveness. Father, we thank you so much for your grace and your mercy that you give us each and every day. I'm asking you, oh Lord, to touch each and every last one that's on this panel, Lord. Father, everyone that's listening to this show, Father, I'm asking you to soften their hearts, open up their minds to sound doctrine. Allow the wisdom of God to dwell in their lives. Allow the Holy Spirit to lead them, guide them, direct them, and show them your way. Father, I thank you so much for what you do in our lives. I'm asking you to keep protecting our children and our grandchildren. Father, we love and honor you this morning. Father, touch Raheem and his family. Keep his show successful. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Amen, amen. Anybody have anything before we get out of here? Good deal, good deal. On that note, it's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:05. You're about, Leonard, I know you're surprised, brother. It's now 10:05. I know you're shocked. I know you're shocked. You're going to be tomorrow, too. Going to be just like that tomorrow. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us. More than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:06. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. You get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Want that thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Love you. See you tomorrow if God say the same.